Take a look. It's April 14th, 2025. I am at Joel Pearl, thejoelpearl.com on Blue Sky. It's time to get in the weeds. My skies are blue today. It's nice and beautiful, sunny Toronto, though I'm only here for another 2 days because I take off on Tuesday night to head off to Las Vegas, Nevada for ye old WrestleMania week. So for the time being, and for the last time for a few days, I'm with Jeremy Lambert. How you doing, Jeremy?
Well, it's going to be a week. It is going to be a week. The NBA and NHL playoffs start this weekend, so that's the only thing going on as far as I know.
Sens won in overtime last night, so I'm happy. I guess in the afternoon, so that was good. They came back, won at no T. Who cares about the Flyers, right?
The Flyers, sure. They're terrible this year. I'm pretty sure, right?
They're terrible most years.
Fair.
It used to be better when they were bullies and it was 1975.
Yeah, I didn't watch the Avs game last night because they're playing a zombie lineup right now, and I don't care, but they beat the Ducks, so that's cool. So won the final game of the season. Now we don't play again until we get to lose to the Dallas Stars in the first round.
You never know. Listen, the Ducks are... Yeah, you're right. You might be screwed against the Stars.
Yeah.
Could be worse. Could be
no.
The Toronto Maple Leafs.
Could it be worse?
What? Could be the Leafs.
No.
Could be a Leafs fan.
Could be a Leafs fan. That would sound terrible.
Yeah. I'm glad I've never been one, but I'm around them all the time, and I just look at them and I say, are you sure? Is this why your hurts? Yeah. You can give it up anytime you want. You can get rid of this. It's okay. Go home. Get a new team. It's okay.
I admire that they stick with it.
I don't. I think their stick-to-itiveness is what makes them all jerks.
Okay.
60-something years since they've held a cup. It's been the only cup that they have is the one that sits in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
It ain't theirs. They don't get to parade it around to different cities and different people. And, it's just a thing that lives in the Toronto Hockey Hall of Fame. Yeah. Well, that's why I'm not a Sens fan. So it doesn't matter. Hello.
You are a Sens fan.
Oh, sorry. That's why I'm not a Leafs fan. I am a Sens fan. I'll be wearing my Sens pin for all of WrestleMania week because I posted it on social. So when I was in Ottawa last visiting my mom, I was cleaning out some of the stuff in my dad's office area, and I found a Sens pin, and I put it in my backpack and just never thought about it because I'm not a pins guy. And I was thinking about what I could wear on my lapel for interviews because I'm going to be wearing a jacket or a suit or something. And I came across the Sens pin, and I was like, well, they made the playoffs. It's a year after my dad's passing. So this is how I'm going to take my dad with me and also be a Sens fan outwardly in front of wrestling fans who don't watch hockey and know nothing about it because it's Las Vegas, although the Knights are popular. Vegas, no locals. You'll get it. But I'll be wearing a Sens pin for the majority. I also have Mario Kart because Mario Kart.
Sure. Makes sense.
I was waiting on a Kirby pin that I ordered from Etsy, but that thing's probably not arriving on time. Unless it shows up today, then I'm happy.
Are you going to suck all of your interviews?
I'm going to suck at all my interviews. although we were talking before the show, I think my Joe Hendry interview has a really good idea behind it. So keep an eye out for that. It'll be a lot of fun. Speaking of a lot of fun, hey, leave a thumbs up on the video if you haven't already, because we're here to talk about all the things coming up this week in and out of pro wrestling. The pyro, the ballyhoo, and the sign catches fire now. When does the sign catch fire, Jeremy? There it is. The fireworks going off. The sign is on fire. WrestleMania season.
The last week of this sign.
That's right. Then we got to start the King of the Ring sign?
No,
not usually. It hasn't been in June for a long time. And also you can subscribe to the channel, support the cast and crew who host this and many other shows on Fightful Overbooked. We appreciate that very much. And you can donate a super chat any amount, get your question, statement right on the air. You also get to guide the conversation a little bit here on the channel. And let's face it, I'm just going to take all the money and gamble it away.
Oh, okay. What kind of gambling do you play? You just strictly slots? Do you play a little poker, little blackjack?
Mostly slots, and it's only because I like to walk around a lot of the casinos and just people watch, and then once in a while a machine might call to me and I'm like, I'll do like a quarter machine. I won't do the dollars or anything like that. The penny slots are here's my takeaway. Penny slots are a ripoff, folks. You have to start at least 30 cents. And last time I checked, and my math isn't great, 30 cents is more than 25. So if you can find a quarter slot, use the quarter slot. That's my PSA. Also, it's like, don't gamble in Vegas. It's just a bad idea. Like, if I lose more than $10, that's a lot. I'm not a huge gambler. I'm not a big drinker. Like, it was, so for those who know, Passover started this past weekend, and the Seder's, which is like the order, it's like the ceremonial dinner that you do where you tell the story, blah blah blah. You're supposed to drink 4 cups of wine. I had maybe 1.5, and like, I wasn't drunk, but I certainly wasn't super, like, I was a little buzzed, and I'm not used to drinking that much anymore. So not a big drinker either these days. So I don't know what the hell I'm going to do in Vegas. I'm going to go to my room, circa, enjoy every minute of that because they've been so wonderful to us, and going to have a wonderful time hanging out there, and just talk about how wonderful my room is. Bring my Switch and just play poolside. Be a real lazy guy. Not going to do any interviews, not going to go to the shows. I'm just Vegas vacation, baby. Probably not. I'm going to be doing a lot of work. What are you going to do?
I don't know.
Not much. You're just going to sit around.
Trying to remain sane, honestly. Trying to remain sane. That's basically what I'm trying to do this week. Remain sane.
Remaining sane is for morons, Jeremy.
See, here's the issue. It's going to be busy. I don't mind being busy. Everyone knows that I don't mind being busy. Like, it's my job. It's not a big deal to me. And the more work I have to do, not necessarily the better, but like, I know I'm pretty good at my job. So I don't mind being busy. My issue this week is the playoffs start on Sunday. And that's the only thing that really matters. So I'm going to be stressed out over stupid sports, and then stressed out on top of just how busy in general that I am. And it's going to be a week. I've already listened to an hour and 45-minute Triple H interview this morning. So that's how I kicked off my morning, on top of all the New Japan news that dropped. So I've already done enough this morning, and it's just getting started.
Talking about New Japan, yes, the news did drop this morning. There was a press conference in which Jeff Cobb has announced that he is leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling effective immediately, vacating the tag titles as well on the way. It's almost as if a certain $5.99 select service reported on this a month ago and blessed Jeff Cobb for playing up the bits. Fightful Select reported that Jeff Cobb is WWE bound, or at least expected to be WWE bound. And yes, now that he has departed New Japan Pro Wrestling, the strong belief is that his landing point will be WWE. And hey, Jeff Cobb will be able to show up and just be like, I didn't think I'd ever get here, but here I am. Now I'm going to go after the tag titles in NXT. What do you think? Jeff Cobb makes it official after weeks of trolling the fans.
It was very funny. Yeah, it was very funny that he decided to play up this report and acting like, I thought he never mentioned, like, he always said like retiring. The internet said I'm retiring. Like, well, nobody actually said that. Like, we said you could potentially be leaving. And then what do you know? He ended up leaving. I want to know how clued in or not clued in New Japan was to all of this, because it seems curious that they would put the tag titles on him knowing he was going to leave and then vacate the titles. Like, that just seems like a dumb move on New Japan's part if they knew he was going to leave. Like, why would you, like, okay, oh, look, we we fooled certain people in thinking he was going to leave because we put the tag team titles on him. And then a week later, he announced he was leaving, and now we just got to vacate these titles. That seems stupid. Like, why not just keep the titles on Hiromu and Naito, especially after the report came out that Naito was working as a freelancer? So I want to know how clued in they were, because from my vantage point, it seemed like he told them he wasn't going anywhere. And then maybe that's why they decided to put the titles on him. Oh, by the way, I got to go somewhere.
I got to go out for a carton of cigarettes in the milk. No, like Matthew Hooks kind of starts to nail the head on the whatever. Nail the nail on the head. New Japan has 427 titles. So I think they said, here, Jeff, like part of it's that. And Jeremy, what do we talk about with New Japan all the time? They have all these titles, and first defense, you give them up. Like the titles, not a bunch of them have not meant much in New Japan for the last easily year, right? The global championship, they did the Nick Nemeth thing, and it went over to David Finlay, and like everyone was dropping a title within 30 days or a first defense. This is kind of just one of those situations where New Japan did it again. They haven't put emphasis on many titles. This is one of them. Since the Bucks, arguably. Really, the Young Bucks are to blame for all this. They won the tag titles, and then it was cursed after that.
They didn't put emphasis on them when the Bucks won them. The Bucks just won, and then they never defended them, and then they lost in their first title defense. Like
that's my point. It's just been a nonsensical, non-important tag title.
I've made this joke a million times. Where outside of the world title, you look at the history of all New Japan titles, and every single one, the people have held them for 30 to 60 days, and they got 1 or 0 title defenses. That's the history of all of these titles when you look at it on Cage Match. Because, you know, I do the title change posts, and I always like try to reference how long they held the titles and how many successful title defenses they had, because I think that's important information. And every single time it's like, oh, ELP held the New Japan World Television Tag Team title. I'm sure they'll create that sooner rather than later.
Soon enough.
ELP held the New Japan World TV Tag. I said it again.
Stick to it. Just stick to the bit.
He held the New Japan World Television Tag Team titles for 55 days and made 1 successful title defense. That's every single title history for them. It's like, all right, at some point, like I swear they just changed the titles just to make it seem like something happened on their show. It's annoying. But sure, Jeff Cobb's leaving. He'll be, I don't know if he's got his last match is against Tanahashi on April 19th. So anybody thinking that Cobb's going to be at Mania should probably rethink that. Because yeah, he's going to be wrestling. I guess theoretically he can get a plane over and show up night 2. I just would not expect it.
He's going to team up and help John Cena win 17. He's going to get off the plane. He's going to get involved in night 2 main event. Jeff Cobb, John Cena. That's it.
Yeah. I don't know if that would do big business, but sure. Why not?
Why not? Going back to what you just said, though, you know, how much does New Japan know and all that? The fact that they're giving him a Tanahashi match on the way out, to me, that kind of speaks of thank you for your service, or what would you like to do on your way out? It feels a little more collaborative, because they could easily just be like, you're going to get, I don't know, insert random X wrestler here that we don't care about. And that's, you know, you're getting Takahashi, you're getting Yujiro, Tokyo Pimp. Here's your last match. Here you go. But instead, no, he's getting a Tanahashi match on his last year. So it feels to me when you do that, you're not just saying, thanks for coming. It's more like, off you go. Thank you for your service. Because like Jeff Cobb did relocate to Japan for a period of time. So like he's been around New Japan for a number of years. He's been involved in New Japan for a number of years. But let's also not pretend like he is super duper top star who is going to be severely lost by his, you know, lack of presence there.
Yeah, like Cobb has been a good get and a good soldier for New Japan. He's always been in kind of that middle of the card picture there. Like, you know, he was the TV champion for a while, the TV tag team champion. He's held the tag titles. He always does well in like the G1 and everything, but he's never ascended past that kind of area. And if he's going to WWE, I imagine that's largely where he'll be, unless he starts in NXT. But now the NXT men's division is getting a little crowded. But Cobb still has a good spot there if that's where they end up using him. I don't know where they're going to use Jeff Cobb. Like, I don't think his age matters that much because everyone on that roster is old nowadays. Like, Jeff Cobb's 42, but everyone is old. Like, who's the youngest person in a high-profile spot?
Javon Evans.
No, Mania.
Mania,
yeah.
No, Roxanne's not. Lyra, probably. And that's not high profile as much as he's in a match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, youngest male talent.
Youngest
I
male.
guess I should say.
Yeah.
Fatu? Like,
Jacob Fatu. Because LA Knight's been up there. Dom Mysterio.
Yeah.
He's under 30. Tiffy Stratton, she's 25, but then we're talking men again. Braun Breaker. So Braun and Dom. And they're in the same match.
Yeah.
So Solo Sikoa is, I think he's 35.
Solo Sikoa doesn't have a match, so why are we mentioning him?
Not yet. Who knows what Friday will bring, Jeremy?
I said I mentioned Solo, and
I told you guys.
Mad.
I told y'all it could be very well Solo Sikoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one knows El Grande Americano's name and his age. He
That's
could be 22 under that mask. They start young. They start at 13, and he's been busting his ass for a long time. So he could be young. We don't know. Either way, Jeff Cobb, player coach, NXT is a pretty solid place for him to eventually go. I don't know if that's where he's going to start, but good for him. He's had a solid career. The fact that you stay relevant and you stay booked is pretty damn good if you have the longevity. And unfortunately for us, or I guess fortunately, if you're talking about monetization, the Jericho short that you dropped has been doing some good business. Jeremy, did you see this?
What?
The Jericho short?
Oh, yeah, I saw that this morning. Yeah.
Good Lord.
So I don't get how the algorithm and all of this stuff works. I never understood it. I still don't. Maybe that's a detriment to the channel. But like, so I do these shorts every single day. I've not missed a day so far in April, or in the year, should say, not just April, the entire year. Yeah. It's going to test me this week. It's really going to test me. But I do check it. Like, I check to see how they're performing and everything. And I did notice, like, this entire week, like, everything was over 1,000, and like we're consistently there. And then some blow up. I don't know why. Like, the Jericho one just went crazy. Sure, why not? I don't get it. Like, they're pretty fun to do. I will say that. Like, I enjoy, for the most part, making them and having fun. Some are like, I was shocked that like the legacy class thing did so well. Like, some stuff is like informative, like that was, and then some stuff is just our show and us being silly, like kind of like the Jericho thing was, but like the Randy Orton Alexa Bliss thing really was. And I don't understand it, but I hope people enjoy them.
Nick Nemeth, though, he saw the Alexa Bliss short.
Yeah, I did see that.
He's replying to people on Twitter with Alexa Bliss. We know Nick Nemeth is watching this show when he's not doing the other one. He knows where his bread is buttered and where his other bread is buttered too, because he makes more money with doing a Sirius XM show than he does with us. But anyway, I just saw the Jericho short pop off, and I see Shadi in the chat saying like wrestling fans like negative, not positives. I don't fully subscribe to that idea. Like, I get that there are certain like rage bait grifters that are getting off doing that. This wasn't negative. Like, nothing in the actual short was negative.
It's praise for Jericho, if anything.
A little backwards praising, but also like just the content itself, like the titling, the way it looks, like nothing looks like it's saying it sucks. But yeah, we'll see what this show does, because you can argue that this particular show is maybe a little, the thumbnail's a little more baity, or at least engaging that way. But I mean, you guys know how we do our show. We're pretty level-headed about this stuff. We'll see. I can't tell you, just like Jeremy says, how the views get bolstered or don't, because our show, we have pretty engaging thumbnails, but some people don't like a 2-hour plus show and aren't going to sit through it. And some people just want a 1-minute news recap or a funny joke. So we do this for the love of the game. And we also do it because we want y'all to come and tell your friends to come and watch us so that we can continue to grow, and we are better than Busted Open. So tell your friends.
I don't want anybody to watch us, honestly, because then like if people start like watching and actually paying attention, we're gonna get in so much trouble.
Fine by me. Fine by me. I don't think we've said anything too out of pocket lately.
Lately. Yeah.
Joel does it because he can hate on AEW more.
I've already said this. I will speak it publicly. The moment that Tony Khan actually mans up and gives the world,
I'm vanilla, baby.
I'm retiring. I'm done. That's I can't go any higher than that, because that'll all be off of my work. Nobody else is getting credit for it. Only me.
Would you consider it the pinnacle of your work?
Sure.
I don't think they've been saying pinnacle enough on AEW television.
Yeah.
Oh, but unfortunately, it happened again, Jeremy.
I don't care that he loses. It's annoying, but like whatever. I don't expect him to win. He's not put in these matches to win. I just want to know why they don't do the song. Like, you put him on TV every single week. Clearly, you think highly enough of him to put him in a prominent position on television. You trust him enough to put him in the ring with Kenny Omega and with Anthony Bowens, who you obviously have high hopes for, and you're getting behind after this big return. You're putting him in the ring with these guys. Clearly, you think pretty highly of him. So just give him the song.
I see Henry saying, I feel like he's saving it for Supercard of Honor. No, because when you had Billy Starks going for the women's title for like the 15th time in a year, she couldn't get Aliens Exist by Blink 182. And like there had been endorsements and conversation from Blink 182, according to Billy, that could have gotten them a little closer to it, but they haven't done it. So I don't believe that the Jack Harlow gimmick is going to pull up before Supercard or at Supercard. Yeah, everyone's going to lose. Give her a big song. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't think it's waiting until Supercard or whatever. I don't know if it ever is going to happen. But I'm going to keep pushing for it until it does. Oh, I assume everybody has me muted, Ryan. I think everyone should have me muted, honestly.
I can't mute you. I like your brand of dumbness too much.
I don't know why people follow me at all or anything. Just mute me and move on, please.
No, you're asking for too much. A couple super chats. Cyclops better than Wolverine saying disappointed by the lack of sign pointing by Jeremy. Did you not point to the sign? You did.
I did when it was on fire.
Oh, okay. I think it's because the fireworks were coming, so you couldn't see the sign.
Yeah. I always point when it's on fire. I'll point to it.
Good. Yeah, that's right. You point to that sign. Yeah. I will not be pointing to the sign of WrestleMania because I'm not a mark like all those other people are. No Braun Strowman at the media junket. That makes me really sad. Won't be able to ask him about choo-choo sounds.
Yeah, that's lame.
I'm gonna have to corner him somewhere and just be like, Braun, choo-choo train. I'm just gonna go to Braun, choo-choo trains, and see if he figures it out.
Yeah.
What do you want? I want you to pull up by the bootstraps. Tell me about choo-choo trains. Two things he's known for. That's true.
Just
I hope
find him. Just find him walking around Vegas and just ask him.
He's so big. Someone else is going to corner him and be like, "Can we get a picture, Braun?" So Braun's going to the secret underground Vegas celebrity tunnels. That's how he's going to get around. Oh, this is perfect. Alexa Bliss Gamer coming in clutch, gifting Braun a conductor outfit. Choo choo.
Just gift him you gotta have a Thomas the Tank Engine toy, right?
I do. I have a few of them thanks to my son.
Yeah, just give them one of those.
Yo, You big ol' SOB. Tell me about those train sounds.
I can't believe no one's asked him about this. It's so disappointing.
It is disappointing. I thought at least someone would have brought it up. It's fine. I've been given instructions for New Day questions from our boss, so that'll be fun. They're gonna dump me in a dumpster by the end of that interview.
I hope they do. That'd be great.
They're going to. Some of these questions are way out of line. He's trying to get me buried, literally.
Good. I hope they just throw a pie in your face or something.
Damn, I could do with a pie. Is it what kind of pie are we talking about here?
I don't know. What if they dump Bootios on you?
I would love that. Didn't Bootios like debut in Toronto at that Roadblock show?
Did they?
The physical ones? I think they unveiled them at the Toronto Roadblock show.
Do you have any Bootios? Can you like give them some and be like, hey,
no,
remember the good times?
You know what? I'll tell you off air what the question was, but like, okay. It's not exactly about good times, but you'll see. Yeah,
you should bring some pancakes to them. Bring pancakes and be like, hey, what's the first thing you remember? What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you see these pancakes? Just try to make them remember the good times that they had, and maybe they'll be nice again.
I'm gonna bring the New Day time machine.
That would be good. Speak with a Jamaican accent and see what happens.
No, it's racist when I do it. We're not doing it. Although there was a girl when I went to school. There was a white girl from Jamaica who legit had a Jamaican accent. Threw everybody off, but she was legitimately Jamaican.
Bring the little drums. Do the Michael Scott bit. Feeling hot, hot, hot. Just do that the whole time. Hey, man! Just greet them like that. Get the one braid that's, beaded. Just full Michael Scott when you're interviewing New Day. Like, hey, man! How you guys feeling? You feeling hot, hot, hot? Just see what they do.
We get thrown out of that junket so fast.
You're just doing a Michael Scott bit. What, you want, a cookie?
Joel's just gonna show up with a joint and dreads. Well, it is legal there, but not gonna happen. There's someone else who works on this on our channels that will show up with a joint and dreads, and he's a lot better at doing that than I am. So I'll let Righteous Reg take that gimmick. It's all his. He does great. Someone asking when do I leave for Vegas? I leave tomorrow in the evening, so I'll be packing tomorrow afternoon. Got to pick up my camera after this show. I will ask the New Day about the old day. It's actually a very funny idea. Oh man.
Ask Kofi if he's broken any video game controllers lately.
Oh, that's actually broken any video game controllers recently. I'm also going to ask them, have they done much commentary or conversation about their new theme, the Mega Brand theme they've done? Have they talked about it much? You haven't seen it? Okay, so I'm going to ask about that. That was already on my list.
Okay. Yeah. I've not seen it. Ask how much does CEO suck?
I mean, it's in the line of questioning there.
How happy were you that you did not get a CEO theme?
CFO. CEO is the one who does the dance every Wednesday and Saturday.
Oh yeah, sorry. CFO, whatever. They're terrible.
If they were in Canada, I would ask more Canadian questions, but because they're in because we're in Vegas, like Fightful's weird because we are this Canadian American outlet, but I'm the only on-air Canadian, I think.
Jimmy?
No. Jimmy's a co-owner.
He's on air though, allegedly.
Allegedly. He doesn't know about us, but we sure should know about him. Yeah, I don't know.
It's Def Rebel. It's so bad. I don't even remember their names.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure. I was thinking about this the other day, and I'm pretty sure that I am the only Canadian who does a show, who's on air. Because we used to have one more, but he's not with us anymore.
Kylie's Canadian, isn't she?
No, Kylie lives in Florida.
Yeah, but like every time I pay her, it transfers to Canada.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure you're not paying me in Canadian? Are you sure you're
No.
paying Kylie?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh dear. No, I'm pretty sure unless she's planning a move, which sure, good for you.
Maybe her bank account's in Canada. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to ask her about this later because I'm very curious. So we're talking about your banking info on the air.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Yeah, like Boris is saying, Meg is the only on-air Bulgarian, and no one's gonna beat that. That's true. No one else is coming. Florida's like Canada said no one ever. That's exactly it. That's true. So I'm gonna ask questions so bad that when they complain about the quality of journalism, I'm gonna be like, I'm Canadian. And then they're gonna be like, oh, okay, that explains it. And then I'll get away with it. Why are they sending a Canadian to this Vegas junket? What was wrong with you? They're like, Chris Van Vliet, Shaquille Rajuri. They're great. Maybe Joel will be good. And I'm like, I'm gonna prove y'all wrong on that one. I'm gonna show up dressed as Nardwar. Just
that would actually be a good bit and see how many people get it. I would not get it because I didn't know who Nardwar was until Friday.
Someone actually replied to that episode, just being like, they're really surprised you didn't know who Nardwar was, given the fact that they interview all of these like rappers and hip hop artists and like all these people that you would be very well aware of.
Yes, but people also got to understand. I don't listen to interviews that aren't wrestling, so I don't seek out like rapper interviews. Like sometimes I'll listen because he does so few of them. An Eminem interview, I'll listen to that, but otherwise, like I don't seek this stuff out. So yeah, I would not know of the Nardwar. So yeah, did not know who he was until Friday. Oh, there you go. Sorry, everybody.
Mod Revolve asking, where is that in the weeds post wrestling crossover sponsored by Tim Hortons? We all need. The best we can do is Andrew Thompson once a year.
I miss Andrew.
Me too. He's great. I see John Pollock like randomly at Canadian shows. I don't think he's coming to Vegas and can't really blame him. And Way I've met once, and that was at like Elimination Chamber in Montreal. And that's because he was sitting next to John and I was sitting next to them. This was before WWE would put us in press boxes. They were putting us like in the stands near the hard camera and just being like, have fun. And we're like, what do we do now? But yeah, no, I like the guys at Post a lot. I think John and Way do amazing work. People know that I sing the praises of Brandon Thurston quite often in WrestleNomics and the work that Brandon and John do together as well. So if they ever wanted to be on our show for any reason, they know they're welcome. Thurston's been on our show. So he knows he knows he's welcome here too.
Yeah, I speak with Thurston, not regularly, but we message because I like to clarify stuff with him with his reports, and sometimes he will message me about, hey, where, like, what's this info from? Like, do you, and usually I link back to it, but Thurston will just reach out directly to me and be like, what's going on here? Be like, oh, here's the stamp for it and everything. That's our conversations. Riveting stuff, myself and Brandon Thurston.
Well, Brandon's a riveting human being. Spreadsheets, legal documentation.
Can you clarify this? Can you clarify that? That's our conversation. It's just reaching out to each other for clarity on certain things.
So professional.
Yeah.
He might be in Vegas. Maybe I'll see Brandon Thurston in his glory. I love chatting with him for the same reasons. Who was asking me? Ryan was asking me about Fight Forever and if I'm going to have it on my Switch. No. If you want to buy it for me, I will take it. However,
don't buy it for Joel. Make him buy it himself.
Here are the games that are sitting on my.
Nobody can see what those games are.
No, you can't. But the point is, they're all physical copies of games.
Oh, but nobody can see them. Though.
I know them because I don't want to pull them out. They're hard to pull out. There's Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy. There's Mario Maker 2, because of course. There's Super Mario U Deluxe. There's Super Mario 3D World with Bowser's Fury.
Just Mario games.
Mario Odyssey. And then in there is Super Mario Kart, and I have Mega Man, and I have Switch Online. So there you go.
Lame ass Mario games.
And Mega Man. Cyclone's better than Wolverine. Joel, Jeremy, what's your first pet name? Just curious. And Streets you grew up on.
I won't give you my first pet name. I will give you. I did name one of my dogs Sable after the wrestler, so there's a pet name.
Was it because you were hoping one day someone would ask you to show your puppies and you'd be able to be like, hey?
No, I mean it was a girl dog, and I don't know, she was like a little prissy little thing, so I just thought like Sable worked. This was not by design. My last two dogs were Cody and Brandy, but that was not by design of Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes. My parents named. They've been on the show before, actually. When I was in North Carolina every other month, when my dad wasn't doing well, Cody and Brandy would always pop up on the show. But yeah, Brandy was named after Brandy Wine. That's why my mom named Brandy that. And Cody, I don't know why my mom named Cody. No idea, but that's what she named him.
Cody Rhodes.
Wasn't Cody Rhodes. I can promise you that. I don't know why, but
not with that answer.
Nah.
Anyway, Ten Ruza sent a super chat saying, people need to remember most wrestlers have a bit of Arrested Development, Fire TV show, and I do agree. In certain aspects of their career, blinkers are on for them. And he followed up with, also feel for New Japan Pro Wrestling. They're just being a nice guy. Again, going back to the Jeff Cobb thing, I think they knew, and I think they were just kind of like, okay, Jeff, thank you for your service. Here's a match with Tana on the way out.
Yeah, I think that too. I think that as well. I still just wonder how much they did know if they put the title on him like that. Like, it just feels very strange to me of, we know you're leaving, let's put this title on you just to vacate it a week later.
I want to get into the main thumbnail topic because that was kind of what that was in service of. But Richard brought this up, and I was thinking about this. Will Washington recently got a Mac. I don't know if you know this because it was on Unrestricted, and you listened to Unrestricted for some of the content. The fireworks went off on his MacBook, a la ours, and he was confused as to what happened. And the first thing, just like Richard said, it reminded him of us. It was the same shit that we dealt with the balloons. I wish we had been there for that moment just to tell the story.
It's jarring when it first happens. Like, you just like, what is happening on this show going on right now? So yeah, it's definitely, it's very strange when it first happens if you're not expecting it.
Gotta give me your deuces right now. Let's see it. Come on.
Oh, you want the balloons?
Yeah, let's get those balloons going. Yeah. Where you at, balloons? Yeah, there they are. Those are the best. Anyway, Stephanie Vaquer decided that the balloons were worth more than the money. She took balloons. That's how she gets paid by WWE. Did you know that?
I guess so.
Speaking of Rock and Pop, that's a Chilean radio station. She told the story about AEW reaching out to her to negotiate a contract while she was in Toronto for NXT Heatwave over SummerSlam weekend. This quote is coming from our Fightful socials, and I know Jeremy has a lot more on it, so let me just read the quote that we had, and that was, I talked to AEW, and they offered to pay for the hotel stay in Toronto so I could be with them. I talked to WWE. They said whatever I decided in the negotiation. I paid for my hotel and for my flight, so I didn't favor anyone, especially since there was an NXT show that same day. WWE's idea was for me to appear in the front row, and I told them that I felt it wasn't right. I was still with the company, that's CMLL she's mentioning, and also out of respect and gratitude, I didn't feel it was the right thing to do. WWE completely understood, and then I talked to my dad. He told me to follow my heart. So that was the quote, among much more, about Stephanie Vaquer's decision to join WWE, and that was from Rock and Pop in Chile. If you want to give a little bit more to that conversation, because I know that there was her talking to Shawn Michaels. There's a lot more. How do you want to jump into this? Because she did eventually decide on WWE, obviously.
Yes, you're acting like I listened to this interview. She was.
You speak fluent Spanish, Jeremy. Very famously speak fluent Spanish.
No, shout out to Luis Polito, who he's the one that listened to and translated / transcribed this interview. So he listened to it, not me. I read it, I reviewed it, I wrote the headline on the article, but I did not listen to the interview. The gist of it was she did the match with Mercedes at Forbidden Door. WWE reached out, wanted to bring her to Toronto for NXT, and that was the same weekend as Money in the Bank, right? Like,
yeah,
yeah,
not SummerSlam. Sorry, I said SummerSlam because it was Heat Wave was the NXT show, but yes, it was Money in the Bank weekend.
yeah. Sorry. Give me 1 second. I gotta handle something.
Sure. Let me read a little bit more from this whole interview with Stephanie. Are you gonna pop off for this? Oh,
No,
Louis
I'm still here. Just go ahead.
Louis also asking for our mother's maiden names. We can get to that one a little bit later. Somebody wants our social security. Just ask us outright. I'm Canadian, so I don't have one. So basically, she's saying that the whole thing caught her by surprise, and WWE called her after the match with Mercedes Moné, and may have actually gotten her before AEW came calling officially. And when she eventually got to Toronto and had a conversation later on with Shawn Michaels, Shawn effectively said, she says, Stephanie, I know you understand English. I want to talk to you personally. I'm Shawn Michaels. I have a proposal. When I talked to him, he asked me if this was about money. I told him it wasn't the money. This is my life, and I sacrificed my whole life for wrestling, and no money will pay for that. Shawn Michaels understood that, and he told me some words I will keep with me for the rest of my life from a wise person who made me make the best decision. I was on my way to Mexico, and they contacted me from WWE to tell me what they were offering, and then they asked me, what do you say? And I answered, let's do it. And that's how it went. But before that, she had told them how much AEW was offering her. They said, we can't afford that. Thank you much and good luck. And then she cried. And then the Shawn Michaels conversation changed her mind.
Okay. Apologies. Everything's fine. I just needed to answer some questions to our news team, and it was distracting me. So that's my fault.
Tell them to suck a lemon and then learn Spanish.
So they brought her to NXT. They wanted her to appear in the front row for NXT Heatwave, and she was like, no, not really sure about that, because she hadn't made a decision yet. AEW called her at the same time that they found out like she was in Toronto and talking with them, and they made her a big offer. They even said like, we'll pay for your hotel while you're there. We'll pay for everything while you're there. She said like, I ended up paying for everything. I didn't want to like feel influenced either way. So she paid for all of that stuff. When she talked to WWE, she said she told them AEW's offer, and they apparently were like, we are not going that high. We can't afford that, is what they said, which, Rich, we can't afford that. And I said, good luck at AEW. So it seemed like the decision was kind of made, but then, yeah, she spoke with Shawn Michaels, and Shawn had a chat with her, and look, good recruiters are good recruiters, man. This happens in basketball, not just basketball, it happens in sports all the time. Sometimes the money might be better elsewhere. One team might be offering more money than another team. One team might be offering more incentives than another team, but sometimes your heart is set on, hey, I want to go to this team because I think the playing time might be better. I think the style might be a better fit. And the head coach, the GM, whoever it is, sells you enough on, hey, it's not about the money. It's about what you can do here, what you can accomplish here. And that speaks to somebody. WWE will always have the advantage of being WWE, right? Like, they sell the WrestleMania dream. And that speaks to so many people because wrestling, WWE is so associated with wrestling. AEW has 5 years in the business. They don't have this. All In is becoming a big time event, but it ain't WrestleMania. Like, it's not this grandiose, over the top, the whole sports entertainment eyes are on you for this week and this weekend. They don't have that. They may never have that, like, it's just, that ain't something that's accomplished overnight. And that ain't something that's accomplished in even decades. So WWE will always have that to so many fans because that is what they sell. And that is why so many people want to go to WWE. And it's not just about the money. It's like, okay, but I can be on WrestleMania. I can be in front of these eyes and that's where I want to be. That's what I grew up watching. People grew up watching Triple H. People grew up watching Shawn Michaels. People grew up watching, it's going to be John Cena soon enough. It's going to be Randy Orton. It's like, oh man, this is who I grew up, and I watch them every week on my television. And people want to be around that. That's their decision. I don't begrudge Vaquer for this decision she made at all. I do think them saying we can't afford that is get out of here.
I'll push back on this only because going back to sports, as you were talking about, your team has, it's not necessarily cap, but your value is based on your level of superstardom in the case of WWE. Do they see an investment in her? Clearly they do. She became the women's champion very quickly. They did the double champion. She's been a focus, and she's been a main focus on NXT. I think that there's room for her to make a lot of money, and that's probably one thing that they pitched to her was your incoming salary is not going to be what it is for what it would be for AEW, but there is a high possibility that if you do well here, you will make more than you would have there, and opportunities and blah, blah, blah. Like, again, it is recruitment, it is selling. And if she's willing to put in the work, which clearly she's doing well so far, then do you do it? But you can't open up with, we're going to give you $10 million. And I'm just throwing numbers out willy nilly. I'm not saying that's what was offered, but you can't open up the purse strings and be like, we're going to start you at 10 million. And then what's the next deal going to be? Well, then the next deal is going to be 15 million. And then it's going to go up from there. They'd rather show you we're going to start low because our money dictates we have X amount for talent. This is our budget, and your budget is not S tier. Your talent is you're new, you're young. We have to shape you. So I understand why they did it. I think that maybe it got lost a little bit in translation. Not a shot at Luis or anything like that. It just maybe the way that it's explained going from one language to another was just kind of lost a little bit there.
I've said, Joel, I'm the king of WWE has their salary cap, right? I've said this many times on this show of they see Charlotte Flair as making this much and they aren't going beyond that for anybody. They see Becky Lynch as making this much. They aren't going beyond that for anybody. I've spoken at length about WWE and their, what I view as a salary cap structure on contracts. And it happens in real sports as well. So I fully believe they have that in place. I don't know what the monetary offer was, but let's say, just for argument's sake and for hypotheticals out there, Vaquer was going to make more than Bayley. AEW was offering her more money than what Bayley currently makes in WWE. They would look at that and be like, we can't pay you more than Bayley. Like, we can't do that. So in their mind, that is them saying we can't afford that, even though the truth is Bayley should probably be making more, and they can afford that. They just decided they have their own structure and they weren't going to pay that much.
Yeah, that's basically it. The other side is, who knows what her presentation would have been like in another company. WWE, at least right now, was able to say, we'll give you the extras that will hopefully get you primed and ready for US or at least worldwide television where English is the dominant speaking language. I don't know if an AEW or a TNA or an MLW or whatever would have been able to offer the same perks because they have people that they work with in WWE. So I think about those things too. Making more money than Bayley.
I think that she would have been treated great in AEW. The fact that they gave her so much on the Forbidden Door show against Mercedes, already spoke to how highly they thought about her. And I think she would have been in a prominent position on the card, where their women's division has been really good over the past few months. And I think she would have fit right in with all of that. Would she have been world champion? Don't know about that, but I do think that she would have been in a high profile spot. But she mentioned it even when she first signed of WWE was my dream. And Okay, that's her dream. Like, and this is what she grew up watching. These are the people she grew up watching. She saw WrestleMania. So many people want that. They want to be on WrestleMania, and that's what she wanted. So I'm not going to begrudge her for chasing those dreams and desires and taking less money because of it.
Can I have more money?
I do begrudge WWE of like, everybody should get paid more, but whatever.
Agreed. There was one you're like, it's WrestleMania weekend, and right now it's like where everyone comes and converges on the big show and blah blah blah. And I'm thinking to myself, people are gonna think that this is a shot at AEW. So I was gonna say, can't believe you're throwing shade at TNA Bound for Glory weekend, which every year draws thousands of people. I'm just playing.
No. So I think it was Henry in the chat. I have to scroll up.
Trying to make All In a bigger weekend more important than other pay-per-views?
Yeah, it was that. We've talked about that before of they need to have like a hierarchy of pay-per-views just because it tells the fans like what's bigger. You don't have to diminish your other pay-per-views in doing so, but you should uplift certain pay-per-views. And yeah, All In has always been that one because they are telling you by running a stadium, this is a bigger event than the other ones, which I like that it should be that way. I wish they'd put more emphasis on their other kind of big four pay-per-views, which would be All Out's kind of out of that now because it's so close to All In. But it would, in my mind, it's Revolution, Double or Nothing, and Full Gear. Those are kind of along with All In, kind of their big four. And I wish they would put more emphasis on the other three moving forward, but they kind of treat everything as a little bit the same. They're doing a better job overall. The biggest thing was Enter saying AEW is 10 years away from people growing up to want to be at AEW. And like that's true to an extent. The problem is when you are the second company, that's only going to get you so far because I mean, look at TNA. Will Ospreay's talked about like how he grew up such a big TNA fan, and AJ Styles and all this stuff. And that's why he wanted to wrestle at TNA. He wasn't going to sign with TNA.
How dare you?
And granted, that's because AEW came along. But I think if AEW doesn't come along and if TNA is still just kind of where they're at, Ospreay is probably going to take WWE money at that point. The chance at going to WWE at that point. Like that's only going to get you so far when there is still a bigger game in town because people are always going to see that as the bigger game. Now, I do think that people will grow up watching AEW and people will want to go to AEW because they saw that it's the wrestling that they like and it's the wrestling they will feel that they can do there compared to WWE. But somebody's going to change. Like we're talking about like 10-year-olds watching wrestling right now and how they're going to feel a decade from now. Who knows how the landscape is going to change a decade from now. But part of it's going to come down to, all right, who's on top of WWE right now? Like people might be seeing like a Braun Breaker and a Dominic Mysterio, and we're mentioning kind of these kind of younger people in WWE, like honestly, like a Stephanie Vaquer, like a Tiffany Stratton. They're gonna see these people, and 10 years from now, you would think they're gonna be at the top of WWE. Like Braun Breaker certainly most likely will be 10 years from now. He'll be at the top of
Just
WWE.
say the pinnacle. Just say the pinnacle of WWE.
Sure, the pinnacle. And 10-year-olds right now, I'm like, oh, I want to wrestle Braun Breaker. I want to wrestle Dominic Mysterio. Like that's going to play a factor as well. And we'll see. Just who knows a decade from now? Who knows?
It's going to be Cody Rhodes.
I mean, true. Honestly,
he's going to own it all. Triple H is going to be like, this is yours now, Cody. You are my son-in-law. And he'll be like, I didn't marry any kids. He'll be like, you are my kid.
But like, there is a point to that, though. People are going to see Cody Rhodes. And again, I think it's the same thing with John Cena. 10 years ago, everybody grew up watching John Cena, and that was their guy. And so now 10, 15 years later, John Cena's still around, still doing his driving tour. It's like, I want to be in the company that John Cena is part of. People are going to look at Cody Rhodes, and the Cody fans are out there. There's plenty of them. There's too many of them in my mind, but they're out there. And now 10, 15 years from now, if Cody is still with WWE, they're going to be like, I want to be in the company that Cody is in. Like, I want to be part of that company. And whether he's active or not, like if he's just doing behind the scenes stuff, like if he's still a prominent or still active in a wrestling role, maybe not in ring, but in a wrestling role position with WWE, they're like, yeah, I want to be in the company that Cody is part of. Like, it's a thing.
And then 10 years from now, people will be watching AEW and they'll be looking at Chris Jericho and sorry. I think actually with AEW, it's more like you'll be looking at Swerve and you'll be looking at Hangman. You'll be looking at some of those talent who have been main eventers and have been, very instrumental in the build of AEW and the way that it's changed over time, right? Because remember, we started off, it was the Elite, and now that's whatever it is. But you have some of those breakout stars, even Darby to a certain degree. Some people are going to see some of these characters and they're going to attach themselves to what they are, what they represent to them as an extension of their own sense of self as they're growing up. So yeah, there are characters all over wrestling that people are going to glom onto, but it all comes down to like what's most popular and where do you identify with. There will be wrestlers who come to AEW because they were completely enamored with the way AEW presented wrestling. And they're going to be people with WWE the same way. NXT even. NXT has been around for almost 15 years. If not, it's been over 15 years at this point. No, it isn't. 2027 is 15 years. But they're closing in. That's the whole point, is they've been well over 10 on their way to 15 years of NXT, and that's nothing to sneeze at.
I just hope everyone gets paid what they want to be paid. And yeah, they follow their dreams, whatever that may be.
Usually it's pointing to the sign.
It is. A lot of people do. They want to point to the sign. Look, WrestleMania is the biggest infomercial for WWE. And I say it with a smile and a joke and a little sarcasm, but it's very true. It's just like the Super Bowl as a giant infomercial for the NFL. It's like, if you are an athlete, if you're a football player, this is where you want to be. This is the game you want to play in. If the finals for the NBA or the NHL, if you're a hockey player, a basketball player, you want to play in these games. And you hear the stories all the time, like, oh, I'm shooting hoops in my driveway, and I think it's Game 7 of the NBA Finals, and I hit the shot. Like, that's what you want to do when you see WrestleMania. If you have dreams of becoming a wrestler, you think to yourself, that's the stage I want to be on. Look at all of these people in attendance. Look at all of the attention that is on this show, on this match. Look at just the glorious aspect of WrestleMania. When you see that as a kid, you're like, yeah, this is something I want to be part of right here.
Yeah. No, we'll see how that looks after this particular week, because this is the first time that WWE is so incredibly integrated into the indie presentation of WrestleMania as well. A lot of the indie shows, there's tons of WWE talent. Bloodsport is like half WWE talent, and it's a little frustrating that, there was one wrestler from the UK. I don't know if you remember his name off the top of your head.
Lou Nixon.
Lou Nixon, thank you. I remember reading, like, he got pulled from a Bloodsport appearance. Luckily, Janela pulled him up and said, come do the cluster fudge. So he's still going to at least be booked somewhere. But it's frustrating to see that, there are certain talent that get told you're going to be on the card, and then they get pulled. Meanwhile, WWE is halfway into a Bloodsport card. There are a lot of wrestlers doing Bloodsport this year from WWE. It's not just Natty. Like, it's Cross, it's Pete Dunne, it's Shayna Baszler, It's Charlie Dempsey, I think, is doing another match this year.
Yeah.
Am I missing one more?
And Timothy Thatcher's kind of
He's
WWE.
ID kind of, yeah. But like there are a lot of WWE talent, and that's why I'm like, I want to go to Bloodsport because it's a different presentation than most wrestling shows. At the same time, I'm like, I wonder what that show is going to look like from just a presentation point of view. How different it's going to be, if at all. It might be completely, the same old, and Josh Barnett's like, nothing's going to change. You're just booked and do your thing. Yeah, and part of me is like, do I go to Unbreakable and then go there, or do I just stay at Unbreakable? I don't know. We'll see what comes. Now the media junket's on Friday afternoon. That's completely thrown off my Thursday, Friday plans. Luckily, the junket's at like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, but still, good Lord. That's a whole can of worms. I don't know what to do about my Thursday.
A couple of comments here. So Senior Nerd saying, honestly, I think the WrestleMania pitch lost fire this year with its horrible build-up and low ticket sales. They're getting 50,000 people each night. And
there will be walk-ups. There will be. Like, I get it. It's also, sorry, I'm going to add on to it. It's also Easter weekend. Some people are just like, that's not changing my family time.
They're getting 50,000 people. Again, we're talking about the spectacle of this from the eyes of a 10 to 15-year-old and thinking this is what I want to do. They aren't looking at, oh boy, this is a half-empty building. One, it's not half-empty, but they're not looking at like, oh, this isn't as big as it is in years past. They're still seeing a giant stadium filled with people, and they are seeing the build-up has been what it's been. When you get to the show, some of the matches might not be good. Like it happens, and yeah, some of the matches might not have the heat that you want them to have. But we're talking about the spectacle of WrestleMania. That doesn't really age. They do a good job every single year of making it show or making it feel like it's the biggest show, like it's the most important show, like this is something grander than everything else. They do it with the entrances, they do it with the fireworks, they do it with the video packages, they do it with just the different promotions. I know people don't like all the sponsorships and the celebrities and stuff, but this is all what goes into making WrestleMania. So I don't think the WrestleMania pitch is losing its pitch anytime soon, because it's always going to be an over the top, just grand spectacle.
I'll add to Matthew Hooks saying, I just don't like the idea that we praise a company for predatory prices on its fans. Never understood why that's seen as a positive. So Jeremy and I are in the business of talking about wrestling specifically. Playoffs are no different in sports. Your season, even during the regular season of hockey, baseball, whatever, pick your favorite, when the big team comes to town, you're paying more. It is a premium. Same thing when you get to the playoffs. The deeper you get, the more expensive the tickets are. WrestleMania, especially, is the time when they can command the highest amount because it's capitalism. That's what we're stuck with. And yes, the prices are way too high. A lot of us are priced out. But the point of all this is there is a lot of money to be made. And they are going to make that money, and they're going to do it at the time when they can make it, and that is WrestleMania. That's just kind of the reality of it. It sucks, but like, we shouldn't praise the idea that they're making all this money, but we should at least acknowledge the fact that they are making this money and doing it at the times when it's their hottest in years.
Oh, I'm definitely not praising that these prices are outrageous. I don't like that any of these prices are outrageous. Like we were trying to figure out maybe going to soccer game this weekend, but one, it's WrestleMania weekend, so it becomes much tougher for me to like get out of the house for an hour, much less up to 4 hours for a soccer game. But like Messi is coming to town, and because he's playing the Columbus team, the prices are, it's not even the prices are bad, like the fees go on top of it are absurd. Because like the ticket prices might be like $80, which okay, $80 we can afford that. We're not a broke family or anything. But then the fees are like $60, and so all of a sudden tickets for like 5 tickets, which should be under $500 because at $80 a ticket, that's well under $500. All of a sudden, it's like for 5 tickets, you're paying $700. It's like, what? Huh? How did this happen? The fees will kill you on this stuff. That's the disappointing part of all of this. But I think all tickets should be more affordable, and sooner or later they'll start pricing themselves out of this, and then they will have to drop the prices. For right now, people are paying. Give it up to the billionaires, as The Rock said on Raw on Netflix.
You know where the fees are really affordable, Jeremy? In Vegas this week.
WrestleCon, because wrestling fans are broke as hell, and so you can get in for free.
On Sunday only, you can get in for free.
What's that?
No.
Thursday through Sunday, it's free?
No.
Tell your friends.
I can't wait till someone eventually clips that and then I get yelled at. Of like, why are you saying WrestleCon's free for 4 days? No, it is only free on Sunday. So, Joel, if you're looking for a free little pregame to WrestleMania Night 2 before you see John Cena win his 17th world title, you know where you could go? The Westgate Hotel.
My media calls it 2 o'clock, so probably not.
Well, we start at 9 a.m.
I'm going to be sleeping.
At 9 a.m. during Mania Week? What the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah, what's sleep at all, honestly?
That's fair. I will sleep. I'm actually going to sleep Tuesday night into Wednesday because my Joe Hendry interview got moved from early morning to mid-afternoon. So I have that going for me.
Are you excited?
I have a very funny bit planned, and that is about the level of my excitement for this.
You know Joe Hendry is going to be at WrestleCon and WWE World?
I had heard this. How much does he cost at WWE World? Do you know?
I don't know if I still have it. I know when my dad was looking.
$75, I thought.
Yeah, I think it was something like that because my dad was looking just to compare, and he was like, "Why is he at World?" And I was like, "I don't know, Seth. That's a great question." Did I tell you both my parents are coming with me to WrestleCon this year?
Yes, you had told me this. I'm going to meet your parents. It's going to be a great time.
Okay, so his photo op was $58.59 for WWE World.
And how much is he at WrestleCon?
I feel like he's more expensive at WrestleCon.
Wow.
We just praised on prices. And
Wait. I'll give you one more shot. Hold on. You want to wait to meet Mike Tyson at World? We have him first on Saturday.
But is it more expensive?
Yeah, but how much does it cost?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure he's cheaper at WrestleCon than World. Why would you want to wait till Sunday? You can meet him Saturday. You know, Sting is in like the Wolfpack paint on Saturday too, a part of WrestleCon.
Cool. That is cool. No one else is doing that. That's fair.
I love that Sting has grown this beard and just like he ain't even pretending at this point. You know, he ain't even like dyeing the hair black or anything like to make the appearance. He's like, nah, I'm old and retired at this point. I'm just gonna do what I can. And I'll put the face paint on last time for the year with the face paint, but I ain't dyeing the hair.
About that?
I'm growing the beard.
Because so many people were sending it to me, and they're like, "Can you tell him to shave it before Vegas?" I go, "I am not telling this man to shave his beard before Vegas."
You have to speak to his sons, and they will do it for you. We can reach out to one of them.
Just let Sting surf. All right, let him be in his old man vibes and let him surf.
Yeah, let him surf out that big old beard.
Listen, he has it. Isn't it copyrighted? He owns the rights to Old Man Sting.
Of course he does.
I think he does. I feel like I read it somewhere. For
the record, Joe Hendry, if you want an e-ticket and an autograph, it's $41. If you want a photo at the table from your own device, it's also $41. If you want the combo of a photo and an autograph, it's $61.
See, so it's cheaper at WrestleCon. Why are you going to pay the WWE World prices?
Well, one is a photo and an autograph, and that's $61. But just the autograph is, if you want an autograph, it's $41. If you want just a photo, it's $41. You want them both, it's $61. What a weird, what is that? Is the $1 like a processing fee? What are we doing?
Yeah, it is, because you're looking.
I figured.
So if you pay at the table, it's 40, 40, 60. If you're going to pay in cash, it's an even 40, 40, 60.
Okay, good to know. Bring your cash. Cash is king for some of these events.
Listen, cash, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, credit cards. We accept it all.
Yeah,
Britt Baker.
this is a wrestling event.
Listen, we haven't even talked about the true headliner for WrestleCon. My headliner.
D'Lo Brown?
Who?
Oh, don't.
Who D'Lo Brown?
Nope.
That's the
What?
real deal now.
That's the real deal. You're looking at it now.
Yeah.
You know, D'Lo Brown was the first wrestler I ever worked with, like ever.
So you should know very well who
You
this
just
man
did a
is.
who?
Because I didn't hear you. I thought you said Elo Brown. I go, who the hell?
D'Lo Brown. It's a good ending.
Oh, that's his long lost cousin.
No, but I was gonna say Britt
Yes.
Baker's coming to
No.
WrestleCon.
No. The real headliner, Kimmy. We know who it is.
I'm vanilla, baby.
Is he even gonna be there?
I don't think so.
Who knows? Let's take a look.
I feel like he's not even going to be there.
I
I
don't
have to
think he
scroll
is either.
fairly far down to find this out.
I don't think
Just
he's
click
gonna be there.
Control F.
No, because
Mhm.
y'all did this in friggin' pictures.
Oh, I'm sorry, want a visual.
Talent is alphabetical after featured guests. Okay, that's good to know.
Blake
So,
Christian's not a featured guest. He's not at the top.
Should be.
he should be. He is Blake Christian, so he would be at the top.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He
It's
should
my
be.
last name, so it's the third letter, not the second.
How is? Oh, but okay. Well, shout out to Tank Abbott. He is definitely
Hell
one of my featured, and he's top of the list, right after Sting. I love that. Why is it Sting? Why is it Sting, Timeless Tony Storm, and then Sting again? This whole alphabetical thing is not
I
working.
mean, it should be
Because it's
Sting
two
twice.
different Stings.
So
Yeah.
Jeff Farmer, then he'd be under F for Farmer.
Can we talk about why Blake Christian keeps getting booked on Collision? What the hell is this?
We
Well,
can
at
keep
least he's
talking
getting
about
booked.
why Blake Christian should be winning on Collision.
He
Honestly,
keeps losing.
I know. Oh,
Once again,
That's so funny.
Joel's got like 4 different Vanilla Fumble thumbnails that he won't use because he's cowardly. Even though
He is-
I've wanted to be the thumbnail every single time he loses.
we use them. We just use them at different times.
Well, I watched the one where you were like upsetly crying, like eating cake.
Yeah,
That Blake, I think it was against his. I think it was his Kenny Omega match, and you were
it
like,
was.
"This is horrible."
I didn't say that. I sang the song. I made that into a short because I just got bored and I was lazy. I was like, I'm gonna just turn this one into a short. People told me to like get outside and touch grass and stuff because of that. I baked that cake. I didn't really bake it because you can't really bake like an ice cream cake. So I don't think that matters. But I created that cake. Okay. Oh, people making fun of me when I'm out here, servicing the world with an ice cream cake.
He's chefing it up. Screw
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. What has he ever done? Who's he ever beaten?
Well, he signed Stephanie Vaquer, so we got that going for us.
Oh my god, that whole interview transcript's been all over my Twitter timeline.
Oh, we talked
Shout out
about
to
it.
Luis.
Yeah,
Luis
he
Polito
rules.
does a great job.
I'm glad that he speaks Chilean Spanish. There is a difference, folks. There is a difference. But he gets it. Mexican Spanish is different.
It
Yeah.
is. That is true. That's like because I took Mandarin Chinese when I was in high school, and that's different than Cantonese. It's like a completely different dialect.
You'll
I
get it.
took like 5 years of Spanish between high school and college. I know like 4 words. I didn't retain like any of it. Just did enough to get by, passed every time, didn't retain any of it.
I cheated because I took Spanish during the pandemic.
Wow. You know who would be proud of you for your cheating?
Hi, guys!
Where's he this weekend?
Very proud.
Where?
Where is he? What doesn't he have a concert?
Oh, I think he is.
I
don't
think
know.
he's in like Henderson.
He's
take a
not
look.
in Nevada.
I think he might be
Might
in
be.
Nevada. Let's go.
He
Tour.
might be.
They're in Colorado Springs on WrestleMania Night 1 at the Sunshine Studios, and Albuquerque, New Mexico on the 20th, and then they're in Phoenix on the 21st, and then they're in Vegas on the 24th. That's why. So after WrestleMania goes,
It's when he
Fozzy comes in.
Definitely did it on purpose. Listen, we should all be so excited. Jericho's gone. Jeremy's bit has died. He can no longer call me Jericho's biggest fan because he's not champion. He's not even on my brand anymore.
I can. To the bit. This is your mistake of thinking Jeremy's bit has died. There's never been a bit that is dead with me. The bit is
Ever?
the bit, and it continues until the end of time.
Oh no! What if Jericho, like when Jericho retires, how's that gonna work?
You'd still be his biggest fan.
Retires?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna do that at some point, right?
I know you
Doubt
want him to retire so he can enter in the Hall of Fame and you can maybe do the induction speech for him as his biggest fan, but I don't feel like he's going to retire anytime soon.
Why the hell would I do his induction speech?
I just told you why.
That's crazy. Meaning I've only met this man twice. Oh no, 3 times. That's wild.
Kimmy, will you break the news of how much Chris Bay will cost at WrestleCon?
I can. I have to look for him on the. Is he on the? I gotta see if he's on the website.
He's on the website, Friday only, and TBA for prices. And then if you go to more info, it says WrestleCon.com/oh no. So I guess he's actually replacing Cassius Ono.
No, that means that they're not taking pre-sales. That everything is at the table. I was so excited when he was announced. By the way.
Absolutely. Okay, let me tell you the one good thing about Friday being the Mania junket now is now I can actually go to the Breakfast with Bay at the Cox Pavilion on Thursday morning. Now I can actually consider going to that because I want to support Bay. And yeah, I get a TNA show, blah, blah, blah. But like for everything that Chris has gone through, the fact that they're doing this Breakfast with the Hardys, I think that's a really neat opportunity to just go and support the dude. So yeah, I might go to that.
I also hope that Chris Bay has one of the longest lines on Friday just because it is his first signing since everything. I think everyone should support him. Like, this is such a big deal. I'm surprised they didn't tweet out what his price is. So I have no idea what his prices are. TBD.
Let's take a look, see if Chris is actually
I think
he tweeted that he's going.
Yeah, he didn't say his prices. He said, "Come meet me at Friday at WrestleCon. I was hesitant to come out this year, but every day I'm feeling a little bit better and a little more confident. Bring all the love."
There you go.
I think he'll have a pretty big line. He should.
He should.
Yeah.
All information can be found in our bio.
Are you looking at the vendor? I don't even know who this vendor is, by the way.
Club NFT, no idea. Let's take a look. Fight Club NFT. This is going to show up with awful things.
NFT.
It's Fight Capital. What are you talking? Fight Capital NFT.
Fight Capital, whatever. I got off of the thing. Fight Capital NFT. Fightcapital.io. Let's go to their Twitter. Fight Capital.
Why doesn't Joel have a booth? Because I told him he wasn't allowed to have one.
I'll break into your green room.
He asked for a whole separate room to interview talent.
Yes, I did.
Glass ceiling on you.
Yeah, well, I got to do this. WrestleMania watch party exclusive to Fight Capital NFT holders with open bar. What? Shout out to the nerd. 3 p.m. Holy shit! I'm going to join Fight Capital NFT. Open bar for media watch party. Oh, they're probably awful. They like have a chokehold on this nerd bar. Holy shit. I think the nerd bar is also like a very wrestling special show.
Oh, anyway. I've been there.
Yeah.
It's off the strip.
No, I've been to one in Phoenix. Never mind. Keep going.
There's a mechanical bull riding thing there. I went 2 years ago. It was really cool. They have like little video games. They have like a bowling alley.
Yeah, I don't know what their connection is to this guy. They retweet all of his stuff. Someone's connected to him.
Who, Chris Bay?
Like Capital NFT with Chris Bay.
It's probably just a vendor that's just bringing him in.
Yeah, but they're also like connected to Bay through like socials. They retweet all of his stuff. They could be Vegas local and they just support Bay because he's Vegas.
Yes.
Vegas. Joel would have hate on AEW conversations for $25 every minute. If you pay me $25 every minute, I will hate on whatever you want me to for however long a minute we need to. With reason.
Jesus, Joel's charging WWE prices out here.
I'll hate on Busted Open for free, but if you want me to hate on anything that could possibly affect us, that's different.
I feel like there's like 100 million Mania watch parties in Vegas, and there wasn't that many for Philly. So I don't know. I'm guessing it's just because Vegas has more of like places to do that.
Well, let me tell you where the best one's going to be. It's going to be at Circa for Circa Mania. Circa Mania is going to be having one of the greatest WrestleMania watch parties in the pool, the stadium view area, where it's going to be 100+ inch TV screens everywhere where you can watch the wrestling, the best kind, the WrestleMania, along with tons of other shows. Chris Van Vliet's going to be there. Busted Open's going to be there. I'm going to beat their asses at Circuit Mania, just letting you know. And also, I will be there So clearly, where you want to go is Circa. And the ladies from Wrestling Wind Down are going to be hosting a little something at the bar at Circa Mania. Go check that out at Wrestling Wind Down. Yeah, there you go. I'm going to be there. I'll be at Circa starting tomorrow night. Don't look for me. I'll be sleeping Tuesday night, but I'll be there. Best watch party, Circa Mania. Oh, Ryan, I have been looking for where I can fill up my fridge for when I arrive.
There's probably, you know how like in the lobbies of hotel they have like the little like snacks and drinks. Just go there.
So expensive.
That's expensive. Yeah.
Yeah. How much do you think my per diem is? Ain't that high?
Right.
Damn.
It's like $5 for a friggin' soft drink.
For a can of Coke.
Yeah.
No, man.
You want to hear?
There's a Walmart near my hotel, kind of.
Do you want to hear the crazy story about per diems?
Who's asking for the highest one? Let me know.
No, I was gifted with a per diem at the last show I worked, and I didn't even know I was entitled to having one. I was like,
What'd you spend it on?
How much did you ask for?
Yeah.
it was 50. I got $150. It was 50 per day.
That's not bad at all.
And I had someone else buy all my food. So I spent nothing.
Did you just keep
Oh,
it?
that's on booze.
They should have taken that back.
Why? They gave it to me the last day of the show. They're like, here you go. And I was like,
Oh.
I'm going to use it for gambling money. Duh.
Send it to me. You should send it to me right now to my PayPal, paypal.me/Joel Pearl, JoelPearl. And there you go.
What do you need it for?
Gambling. No, I'm not a gambler. Drinking. I'm not much of a drinker. Ubers. Honestly, honest to God, Ubers. It's going to be me with my big black backpack all weekend.
Oh
Week-
my God.
1 week.
The weather keeps going down. Why is it going to be 70 degrees?
Because they realized that I was going to be wearing a suit. And they were like, let's make Joel a little more comfortable.
But I want to go swimming. I want to get a
No
tan.
swimming, it's a polar plunge.
No.
Shady escort. You know what? If it gets you to pay me, I'll take it.
You gotta pay it on the escorts, though. We're gonna check your receipts here, Joel.
I don't think they offer receipts.
Well, you gotta tell them, hello, I need a receipt. So when my bosses ask me what I spent this money on, I can show them proof. So after you get done with them, Joel, you gotta ask them for a receipt.
This is my giant black backpack, by the way. This is the one that I normally use just to go places. This is normally just my traveling backpack. This is going to be my Mania day pack.
Did you pack yet?
No, Jesus Christ, no. Tomorrow around the afternoon.
I'm all ready to go. I can literally
My
leave
suits-
right now.
My
I'm
suits
packed.
are laid out. My suits are laid out. My clothes are folded. I just need to put them where I'm going to put them eventually.
I'm ready to go. I'm so hyped.
But these are the pins that you'll see over Mania week.
Is
What?
that Mario?
Mario Karts and the Ottawa Senators pin. Those are the 4 ones they all will be seeing.
That's
On the
5.
lapel. Those are the 5 because I'm a mathematician. Those are the 5 that you'll be seeing.
I have all wrestling pins on my backpack, so no one can ever take mine.
Nerd.
How am I a nerd? No one's taking my bag.
Belt
Liking-
mark.
No one's taking your bag. You're gonna be around a bunch of wrestling fans. All of them are gonna take your bag. They're gonna be like, "Oh, look at this cool wrestling stuff. Let me take it."
No, I have important things in there. I have markers, I have paint pens, post-its, my clicker to
You know
hard
what you
count
do?
everybody.
You know what
What
you do if you want them to leave you alone? You just flash them one of these, and then they'll go running away. It's
You know what? That's pretty accurate.
gonna be in my backpack all the time, and I highly recommend y'all do it too.
So, it's deodorant from wrestling fans. Is that what you have there, Joel? To keep wrestling fans away, you just use deodorant.
It works.
That should have been your WrestleCon table. Just a whole table with you selling deodorant,
There has to
spray.
be. There has to have been a wrestler who has done or thought of this, and it's probably Jordan Grace like 5 years ago. Like it has to have. I remember when she was in Toronto for SummerSlam weekend and she was working all those events and I was at the same venue. She had her book. Remember the book of weird DM she got? She had that book for sale. Okay. And that thing was flying off the table. That is what people need to do. Get a bunch of deodorant, put a label on it. Cardona should do it. I see Grace. Absolutely. Those are the people who should be doing it.
I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great marketing tool, and everyone will smell great.
Thank you. By the way, Zeno Hour saying Joel, Cam Hawkins, Kimmy, and a couple of escorts versus Busted Open.
Who would I take though? I feel like everyone on the Busted Open team is so much bigger than me.
You get Nick Nemeth. All you have to do is flirt with him and he'll be yours.
Got it.
Now I ain't talking to school. You said it. Did Colt Cabana do that years ago, Ryan? Damn it, I knew it. Colt Cabana is the only other person that makes sense to have given deodorant to fans as a selling gimmick.
Yeah.
Bring it back. Bring it back, Colt. Boom, boom. Bring it back. Is he coming to Vegas? Or is he not allowed?
Yeah, I don't know if he's up to anything.
I don't think he's at WrestleCon. I could be wrong though.
I don't feel like he is.
What's his name again? Colt Cabana.
Hey, it's gonna be at the top because it's C.
It's gonna be No. There are many C's here. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Cage, Cardona, Cartwheel, Kyoto,
260 talents.
Crazy, Crow, Cruz. Nope, that's it. Danhausen.
Danhausen.
He's alive.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be there like all 4 days.
I love Danhausen. It's very funny that he showed up at Final Battle and just, was gone after that.
Cam, you know what to do.
Oh my God.
Cam's not helping you against Busted Open, though. We've already established.
No, with that attitude. The best part is that, I get to do, so I'm in Canada. I get to do my customs here instead of in Vegas, which is great because if shit goes down, I'm already at home. So at least I got that going for me.
Going
Does
back,
Cam really have a guy in TSA? That could be really helpful.
Going back, it's also Canada. We have Pearson's a ginormous airport, so they have customs for Canada and the US crossing.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, which is so much better.
I just assume Cam has guys everywhere. Cam's just a person who knows people.
It's very weird. It's true. I walk down the street, get myself a burger and a milkshake, and they're like, Cam? I'm like, yes. How do you know Cam? I'm like, don't ask. I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna ask.
He's like Cass. Cass has guys everywhere. Everyone knows Cass, and everyone has a Cass story. So
walk into a Waffle House and they give it to you for free. Why isn't Muscle Man Malcolm hanging out with Cass more? What are we doing here?
At my wedding, just people had a Cass story, and it's like, how is this possible?
Man was dancing with your mother. It was fantastic. I wish
was he really?
It's a joke. Yeah. He was legitimately dancing with Jeremy's mom, and it ruled.
Yes, Cass is a man of the people. Yes. Everyone has Cass story. Everyone knows Cass. Everyone is like 5 degrees of separation from Cass.
Oh, he's just the best.
Loves Cass. He rules. I hope he's in Vegas.
I got to reach out to him. I don't know if he is, but if he is, I want to.
I just assume he is. I just assume Cass is everywhere.
Found out our pal Zach Haydorn's going to be there, so I'm looking forward to hanging out with him and a few others that have come out and said
they're going to recruit people.
I do. Zach gets in late. I don't know if he's going to be able to help me out so much.
I know Joel's so excited to see me for the first time in person. Right.
Oh, look at the time. We got to talk about AEW Collision now.
What about just
All right, that wasn't me. Let the record show. That was not my... You can bring it back.
I feel bad. All right, do a big plug, promote all that fun stuff.
And yes, Kimmy, I'm looking forward to seeing you when we get there.
Thank you. Anyway,
you're gonna come to Circa, right?
I think I am coming to Circa at some point. I feel like I am.
I'll be there. I ain't leaving my room until I'm contractually obligated to.
You know what? I don't blame you. Anyway, if you guys are looking for something fun to do,
I'm vanilla, baby.
That was really sad. There's a reason he's not coming to WrestleCon. Just saying, he's not booked.
He's not allowed to come to WrestleCon because he's going to be booked on Collision. Collision's live on Thursday.
So he could show up Saturday and Sunday. What is preventing him?
Expensive.
Anyway, jokes aside, if you guys are looking for something fun to do to meet all of your favorite superstars, head over to WrestleCon. It's happening at the Westgate Hotel from Thursday to Sunday. That's right. It is 4 days. The fun starts Thursday night at 4 o'clock. 4 to 8 with Soraya, who's making her WrestleCon debut. She's going to have copies of her book there. She'll answer all your questions, all that stuff. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday obviously are the bigger days. We got Sting, we got Tony Storm, we got Mike Tyson, Britt Baker's going to be there, Mick Foley, Kevin Nash, Paul Walter Hauser, over 260 talent. It is the most talent they've had ever in the 12 years the WrestleCon has been running. And Sunday is free. Sunday is free admission. If you're looking for a pregame for free, head over to WrestleCon. You don't have to pay to get in. Why not go? So make sure y'all do that and make sure to come to WrestleCon because, guys, all of my friends at High Spots and all the vendors have worked extremely hard. It is our version of WrestleMania. It's our biggest show of the year for all of you to meet all your favorite superstars, for you to make your memories. Because WrestleMania week is not complete without WrestleCon.
Is Booker T working WrestleCon?
No. You want to hear a funny story about that, though, before I leave? My boss called me because he booked Booker and Swerve for that con in Richmond. And he goes, do I have to worry about this? And I go, I don't think so. I can ask Sean if you want. He goes, no, don't ask Sean. And then, of course, everything happened. And I go, damn, I really should have asked Sean about this. I could have prevented this from happening.
So I wasn't doing that for the Swerve stuff. I was doing it more for the fact that Penelope Ford's going to be there and I need them to interact with each other. Because I need Booker to call her Penelope just once to her face. I love Penelope Ford. We are huge Kip Sabian fans here, and as a result, also Penelope Ford. Not because, but also because, we need more Penelope Ford, and we need Booker and Penelope to interact.
Well, I mean, nothing's stopping him from walking into WrestleCon. Like, there's been talent that haven't been booked for WrestleCon to just walk in. Why haven't I buried StarCast? I can't bury StarCast because I might be working StarCast. I have to figure that out when I get back from Vegas.
Well, we'll see, first of all, how you do at WrestleCon this year.
Why would I do bad? We have Britt. I'm going to be fine for 3 days.
Yeah, but how are you going to do when Mandy Sachs walks into the room?
She knows me.
That's the problem. She knows you.
Because I've worked with her.
I know. That's the problem.
I've worked with the majority of the people on that list. That's not my fault I'm popular.
Oh, that's the word that you chose to use, not me.
Talent like working with me.
We're going to get Shaza McKenzie to beat you up.
Actually, I don't know her.
Oh, perfect.
We haven't met.
Perfect. No, that's what I'm going to do.
Just have Sean put in the word?
Nah, I could do it myself. So can Jeremy, for that matter. All we got to do is send a message to Shaza.
Yeah, Shaza's a pal.
Yeah.
I let her meet Trish Stratus last year.
Very excited for Jazz. Love Jazz.
That should be good.
I'm literally just scrolling up here and just making sure that there are people here that I really want to meet.
Anyone good? Anyone spark your interest?
No. They're all right. No.
What about Butterbean?
I got to talk to you about Super Show. We'll do that later.
Oh, now he needs me for something. Well, I'm going to he needs me for now. Don't worry. But yeah, have fun talking about Collision. Just know that Ring of Honor has their third women's title now. I don't know why we're doing this. It's very
Wait a minute.
stupid.
You're here for this. Let's talk about it. Tony Khan came out during the Collision crossover to Ring of Honor and said, I'm introducing the women's pure title in Ring of Honor. Let's go! And everyone said, Tony, why? Why, Tony? Why? And especially because the woman that was like the perfect name to be the first pure women's champion is currently no longer with the company. Talking about legit Layla Hirsch, obviously. So, what are we doing?
So I thought, because months ago, I don't know if anyone, probably no one remembers this, Serena Deeb and Queen Aminata had agreed to have the first ever women's pure match. And it never happened.
That's why it's happening.
So I was like, okay. No, it never happened.
Oh.
So I'm assuming that's going to be the finals of this tournament. And I think Aminata is finally going to get the win over Deeb. But I'm like, who the hell else are you putting in? Who else can wrestle pure rules on that roster? Listen, I said that to Sean. I go, Sean, I'm starting a new campaign. Britt Baker, women's pure champ. Let's go. And he goes, are you really going to say that to her? I go, yeah, I'm going to match in Vegas. I'm sure she'll love the idea.
Probably, well, gets me on TV again. So,
Exactly. But I don't know why they introduced this title. It's very stupid. And then you would think like the finals are happening at Supercard, but they're starting the tournament at Supercard, but nothing has been announced for Supercard. So I'm like, just make the whole pay-per-view that tournament.
I thought the finals were happening at Supercard.
Then someone retracted and said the whole tournament's starting at Supercard.
Oh,
That seems even worse.
that's awful.
This whole thing is worse.
Then
There's
where
no
does it
good of
culminate?
this.
Where does the finals culminate? The following show?
Death Before Dishonor in
Dishonor?
July? You
Uh,
can do.
Yes, so yeah, you can make it work because it's 2 months then.
No,
But it's also
they don't.
this was like their the women's TV title tournament.
Yeah, but Red hasn't been on TV in months.
In her
She's-
defense, she's injured.
She's
I
defending
know.
the title pretty soon, next week. They've already spoiled who her title defense is against.
Oh, did they? Oh, I
Oh, yeah,
didn't
that's
read the
right.
spoilers.
Yeah,
They
because
spoiled it.
yeah, so they're doing the match Taya against Catalina this Thursday, and it's a number one contenders match for the
Yeah.
TV title. And then they announced for the tapings this week, hey, come see Catalina against Red Velvet for the TV title. So they've already spoiled the match on Thursday.
I'm nervous though. Like, what if Red loses?
So
And congratulations to like Carolina, you've got a new championship.
But she's not contracted to the
So?
company.
That's fine. She'll just
I don't
go
think
after
she's
the
gonna
third
lose.
championship.
It's just
But she hasn't done anything. I don't care. Like, I know she's been
nobody's
hurt,
done
but, like,
anything.
you're right. This Ring of Honor has turned into CMLL
It doesn't.
programming.
No, they turned into New Japan in terms of the belt collecting.
It doesn't. Ring of Honor doesn't actually exist. We got to stop pretending
It's a
that.
fever dream. It is a fever
It
dream.
does. We have champions.
No,
That's
we
fine.
don't.
So do other
We have
companies.
titles. We
Yeah.
have titles.
There
Are
are
you
belts made.
Bandito defended the title
When?
When?
against Jay Lethal last week on Ring of Honor TV. Something Chris Jericho couldn't even do for his entire reign.
Debatable.
Jeremy, if a tree falls in the woods and no one's there to hear it, did it really fall?
Technically, someone at some point will stumble into the woods and see, hey, this tree fell. So technically, yes, it did fall.
So 20 years from now, when we're all walking through old Ring of Honor footage,
Yeah, Henry's saying it was a proving ground match. It wasn't a real title match.
it was a proving ground match.
Yeah.
It still counts.
Won the
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
No, that's like saying all of those Commander TV matches, the proving ground matches count. They're not.
That's like saying the title eliminator. Remember AEW would do that all the time. Oh, here's Kenny Omega in a title eliminator match. That doesn't count as a title defense.
We call those
But-
championship contender matches because everyone got upset when they were called what they really are.
But Jericho never wrestled on Ring of Honor TV.
That's because you wouldn't wrestle until there was a TV deal in place. That's why Chris Jericho is going to come back and win the women's Ring of Honor Pure Championship.
What?
Remember when they did that angle with the Rock and Roll Express and nothing happened out of it on ROH TV?
Yes, that
ruled.
was. Listen, I can't speak for anything that happens on Ring of Honor. I just get very sad.
We can't speak for it either because we don't do a post show on Ring of Honor anymore.
But
Kate's reaction was fantastic. I'm pretty sure she had an aneurysm.
Listen, Ring of Honor is the only place where Blake Christian wins. I'm shocked Jeremy doesn't watch it more often.
I
That's
do
how he's
watch
getting
it,
these
sadly.
opportunities. Yeah, it's always getting all these opportunities. Is because he's winning matches on Ring of Honor. Didn't you hear them say that on Collision? Like very popular on Ring of Honor. That Blake Christian.
Yeah, Gates of Agony. Gates of Agony. They're like, these guys have won 1,800 matches on Ring of Honor. And it's
They
like,
have.
all
They're
right.
undefeated in Ring of
Cool.
Honor tag team contention.
And that's what gets you a tag team title shot on one of the bigger shows of the year. It's okay.
But they're gonna lose. So
That's
like, what
fine.
does it
So is
matter?
Athena, but here we are.
And they'll never be seen
Well,
again.
I don't want to talk about that. I'm really first of all, I can't even see the match unless I like somehow finagle it on my phone while we're setting up for WrestleCon.
I mean, I have a Triller account, so
Just
I'm just gonna
you
find
can-
Joel on Wednesday.
You can watch it on your phone. Like
I know, but like I feel like people are gonna make fun of me and they're gonna call me a mark.
but you are, and that's okay because
No, I'm
Man,
not.
hold on.
yeah, it's also on Max, but I'm a Canadian, so here we are.
Hold on. You think people are going to make fun of you and call you a mark for watching wrestling while you are helping out at a wrestling Yvette.
Yes.
A great appearance by Kimmy.
We already put her over, so we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, go. The WrestleCon's happening, so I'll be there. Will you be there? Find me.
No, I will not be there.
You won't be there. I'm gonna send some videos from WWE World and maybe from WrestleCon. I'm gonna walk through WrestleCon with my big camera, with my TV camera, and I'm just gonna be like, I got in thanks to Kimmy. Kimmy gave me free access to WrestleCon.
Don't get Kimmy in trouble.
That's the best part. Oh, she knows that I won't do it. She doesn't, but she should know that I consider not doing it. Funny stuff. Anyway, thanks, Kimmy, for joining for that one.
Shout out to Kimmy. I knew she was gonna pop on. I didn't warn you because I thought it'd be funnier.
It is funny. I'm looking forward to meeting her. She's gone now, so I can say it. Looking forward to meeting her. Looking forward to hanging out and seeing what the WrestleCon is going to look like, especially the Super Show. Going to show up for that one and watch Butterbean take on Minoru Suzuki and Dan Severn try to keep order.
That's gonna rule.
The only match I give a shit about, that and the Senior Scramble. That is how much investment I have into the entirety of WrestleMania weekend. Never mind this Cody John Cena garbage. Never mind this Yeet Mania. I don't give a damn. I want to see Senior Scramble where the age total is like 758.
He's got to replace people. I don't know if you saw this, but
oh no, what happened to Action Mike Jackson?
So hold on, let me read Janela's tweet here.
Oh dear.
He said two people. Hold on, I don't want to misquote Joey Janela. God
okay,
forbid.
sure. I've got it here.
I got it. Oh, you got it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Two of the seniors told me they won't, quote, run the blade coast to coast, end quote, unless they were paid double. I have no choice but to take them out of the Senior Scramble. Luckily, I found two seniors to replace them. Stay tuned.
So Joey's asking these people to blade. First off, what are we doing?
He's gonna find two Mexican wrestlers.
Dude, Flair's gonna do this. No, he's gonna get Flair for this thing.
I'll run the blade, brother.
Yeah, Flair will do it in a heartbeat. Are you kidding me?
My God.
Oh, Flair is gonna do this.
I mean, again, you're at WrestleCon where there's going to be every old wrestler under the sun.
Yeah, he won't have trouble finding any replacements. He'll be fine.
I'm looking at it right now, and I'm like, there's at least 50 people here that you can pick. Dory Funk Jr. is going to be there. Don Fry. How old's Don Fry?
So we're supposed to have Janela on the show tomorrow, which means he will be on the show on Wednesday.
When you sent that, I did laugh.
If tradition holds, Janela will be on the show on Wednesday.
How old's the Godfather?
I ain't 55, I don't think.
He's 63.
Really? Oh shit.
He's gonna be in that match.
Godfather's like 30 and like pimping years, though. You know what I mean? So,
Fair. He may say, I don't have to be in this match. But like Don Fry is 59. So you do that. How old's Mark Henry? Mark's got to be over 55 at this point.
Maybe
53. He's 53.
No, he doesn't cut, and he doesn't make the cut then.
Damn. Honky Tonk Man, he definitely makes a cut.
Oh, dude, Honky Tonk Man ain't blading. He ain't bumping, much less blading.
How old's Ahmed Johnson?
Oh, fuck. Is Ahmed Johnson at WrestleCon?
Yeah, he's 61. He's gonna make a play.
Loved Ahmed Johnson as a kid. I thought Ahmed Johnson was like the dude as a kid. It's like, oh, this is the next greatest wrestler right here. It sadly never worked out.
JBL must be old enough. He's old enough to do stupid shit like this.
JBL ain't doing bumps either.
That's
you gotta
fine.
get people who are actually
gonna show up and clothesline people and then leave the match.
You gotta get people who are gonna like bump around, you know? Like
that's fine. JBL's 58. He could do it. Jerry Lawler can't do that. Teddy Long. Mario Mancini. Yeah, there's some names here.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, how old is the Cat? He's got to be in 60s. He is 61 years old. The Cat will be in this match.
Joey and the Cat got some history. I don't know.
That is fair. Maybe they can squash it for some money. Yeah, I'm looking at some of these. Odyssey Jones is going to be at WrestleCon. That's interesting.
Okay.
Anyway, point is, a lot of people that you can replace them with. Throw a rock, you'll find someone who can do it. He's going to get both outrunners.
Oh, that would be a good bid, actually.
It would be, but we'll see. Anyway, what are we talking about next? Should we talk about Collision for a few minutes?
Oh, it was a good show. It was a really good show. A lot of good wrestling.
FTR come out. They cut a babyface promo. Really babyface promo.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of them starting the promo by blaming creative. Thankfully, they then turned it around and blamed Cope and just Cope. But other than that, listen, Tony Schiavone got up there, got all personal and stupid because Tony Schiavone and kayfabe is dumb and almost got beat up for his trouble. And they did a good little through line through the first hour, having FTR and Danny Garcia, and then obviously 2.0 get involved. They have the match, they get bloodied up. There was some really good storytelling going on.
Man, 2.0, what a performance by them. What a performance. Like,
so much yelling and screaming.
They just great babyface stuff from them. Like, if you didn't hate FTR, I like FTR after they beat up Cope and turned babyface. But like, if you didn't hate FTR after all of that, like, man, FTR are like the biggest heels in the company after this. They about beat up Schiavone with what they did to Cope, with what they did to Garcia, but just what they did in the match to Menard and Parker. That was really, really good stuff. So, and Menard and Parker deserve a lot of credit as well. They ain't got to bleed like that. They ain't got to sell like that on this show. You know, they could have just gone out there and just had a standard wrestling match. It would have been fine. And FTR would have gotten over some more as heels because they were working as heels. But they went above and beyond to make them guys look like despicable and just unforgiving heels. So great job by them.
And also, Nigel McGuinness looked really good. Chat's mentioning it too. Nigel looked really good, saving Tony Schiavone, baby facing the whole thing, and just being tough guy, Nigel, and sticking up for his tag team partner on commentary. I liked a lot of it. I liked where a lot of it was going. My one little kind of question, concern, whatever you want to call it, is because they have all these trios coming after FTR, who joins FTR in the fight against the Paragon, against Daniel Garcia in 2.0, like who joins FTR in the inevitable 6-man matches that will come from this?
I'm vanilla, baby.
That's what I thought. So you're looking for the video? Yeah, you're looking for the video. I don't like the idea, by the way, Chad. I don't like the idea of Danny Garcia turning his back and joining FTR. I feel like Danny.
No, it can't be Garcia. He just got double pile driven on Saturday. No, it can't be Garcia at all.
Exactly. I was going with that, and the fact that like they just played a whole, RAW FTW or some RAW AEW thing with Danny Garcia, and he was a good TNT champion. I don't know who joins FTR. There's no one that makes good sense right off the top of my head. Jack Perry.
What if the Pinnacle references have nothing to do with MJF and have everything to do with Wardlow returning?
Yeah, Wardlow's one. I like the idea of doing MJFTR.
I mean, Undisputed Kingdom is dead. You got the Paragon, right? That's Cole's new group now, even though it's his old group. Wardlow coming back and targeting Cole after, the side eye heard round the world over a year ago. Like, there's logic there of Wardlow coming in and being the third man for FTR.
Be more logic than they're giving to the trios title situation.
It's logical what they're doing to the trios title situation. How's it not logical?
Because they've already set up the precedent that you cannot just have somebody else take over the trios title. You can't just hand it to the next person to defend with you.
Yeah, but that was before John Moxley held a stranglehold on the company and the EVPs were back. So
show me on TV. I'm not saying you. I'm saying like show to me on TV that the logic has changed. Show to me, and I mentioned this on other shows, and you've said it too. Show to me that the thing that Christopher Daniels said to, oh my God, who I did this before, who was injured, it was the Acclaim versus Bang Bang Gang.
Yeah.
To show me that whole deal being nixed completely, where there's no longer you can't just give the title to someone else and make it a trios. Show me that that's been retconned. Show me that make a fool out of Christopher Daniels on TV, whatever you need to do to get back on track, and show me it doesn't matter anymore. That was, stupid creative, bad decision, whatever you need to say to make it funny. Retcon it, then give Moxley the trios title to drop on Wednesday. Easy peasy. But that's the thing, Henry. Like, you can't use he's no longer an EVP, so his rules don't matter, because there are other people in other companies at other times, including AEW for that matter, that have made rules that don't get completely enforced. Same thing with the bat at Dynasty, right? That now we can suddenly change match outcomes because someone's mom found a bat in the crowd and directed a referee to see it.
I like what you're saying of just do a line by Jon Moxley of saying, yeah, we know that before you stripped the titles, we weren't having that. Just have Moxley, honestly, have Moxley say, don't even like reference it in that way. Just have Moxley say they tried to strip us of the titles and I wasn't playing that shit. Like, we're not doing that this time. Like, we're not doing that this time around. Like, I got more control than that. They wanted to strip us of the titles. I hold this. He shows that briefcase because they don't have the world title anymore. Like, I have this. Said, I'll defend those titles. And they weren't going to do shit about it. That's it. Just do one line.
Yeah, just do a throwaway line. Like, just thinking of the idea, whoever wins the title from Moxley, they go to open up the briefcase. They don't even do it at the pay-per-view. They do it at the next Dynamite. They open it up and it's empty. And Moxley comes out and is like, oh, yeah, my bad. We lost that title like 3 briefcases ago. I think it's at a Longhorn Steakhouse, but I'm not totally sure. Renee, where's the title? And it's just an empty briefcase from now on. We're going to use a replica. I hope that's okay. I couldn't tell Tony.
I don't know if the Ops are going to win that match or not.
I feel like you kind of not have to, but given the situation with Pac being injured, you don't want to give. I'm sure Moxley's okay with being on as much as he needs to because he is a team player and like he'll do just about anything for AEW. But like there does come a point where you have to protect your talent from themselves, and you have to tell them like, "Hey, chill out, do." Sorry, I just saw it inside the briefcase. It says, I owe you one. But there does come a point where you have to tell your top talent, like, hey, like, chill out. We want you to be focused on like being the world champion and being the top guy. I don't want you to get hurt defending, another title in another match that you don't need to be a part of. So putting that on the Ops, to me, it's an easier way to protect talent. But I understand not doing it, but that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna do it because they should, but it feels like you can just beat Shibata or Hook and it'd be fine. But I do like the thought of Hook and Shibata and Joe winning and then setting up Joe and Moxley for Double or Nothing. People will be very mad that Jon Moxley's going to win that match, but he's going to win that match. Oh, I do like that thought as well. I also just, when it comes to the Death Riders, like they've got something with Yuta. I don't know if they'll friggin' like go for it with Yuta, but he's getting good reactions, and they obviously really like Claudio. So I guess we'll see.
I think my favorite part of that whole promo is when they say, don't forget, chicks dig scars. And Yuta does the thing with his head and he has no scars on his head.
I was wondering, like, what that is like, am I missing a scar here? Is there, like, are they just saying, like, his whole face is a scar?
He's just a big old ugly dude.
Yeah, like, I was really wondering what that was all about. Like, am I missing something? Like, I thought he was going to have, like, a giant gash over his forehead, but, like, I didn't.
Yeah, his scars are internal. Open up your guts, Yuta. That's how we need to show them.
I guess it's his mental scars by showing his forehead. He just gave the Shane Falco speech. I mean, Moxley just watched the replacements and just decided to give, You do a good Keanu Reeves. You've seen The Replacement, Joel?
No, I know the movie. I haven't seen it.
That's a good movie.
Do I have to add
right
it to my
there.
airplane movie
Yeah,
list?
you should
I
watch
have
it.
so many other things to do on that plane.
Nah, you should. That's an easy watch right there. The
I got 4
Replacements,
hours of stuff to do.
Keanu Reeves. It's a good movie. Yeah, Henry, he's wiry, very wiry. No, it's a good. Gene Hackman's in it as well. That's one of my mom's favorite movies.
Well-known dead man Gene Hackman
R.I.P. to Gene Hackman.
and his wife and his daughter.
Hackman.
Anyway, yeah. You mentioned earlier Gates of Agony won a squash match, so they get a title shot.
Sure.
Tony Storm, though, the promo, fantastic,
And
where
that
she's
was
going over all of the opponents in the Owen Hart, or all the participants. I love that they get to the Tony Schiavone and she's like, wrong picture. and the Jamie Hayter, just proof that doing a gimmick from another time doesn't work. Shit like that was fantastic.
Tony Storm's so good.
I know that SP3 is gonna either jump in here right now and just like, hey, fine, whatever. Yeah, Jamie Hayter won, sure. I still think the story was better with Billy Starks going further.
I think Billy should have at least won one match if you're gonna put her in this thing, especially if you just did the rematch against Jamie Hayter. Instead, it was like, she just gets beat by Jamie Hayter twice. Oh, whatever.
The match was good. I mean, everyone's harkening back to that top rope suplex. Sorry, not top rope, but from the apron to the floor suplex.
Billy is an insane person. Bless her.
She's also a child. She heals fast.
Absolutely insane. When we had Mouse on over a year ago at this point, he's talking about how Billy's just like bump in the grocery store. Just fall down and she's just like take a bump in the grocery store. Billy's nuts, man. Just bless Billy Starks.
Great showing. I had to press that twice. Great showing from Billy. Looking forward to watching her continue.
Losing more.
I was going to say, watching her continue growth. There is a hope that at least somewhere down the line, they find a way to make her a big piece of this puzzle. But I get it. I get that she's young, and I'm willing to continue to give it time. But I just think that you could do more with Billy early on. I think that it's good that she's getting reps on television on the actual shows. That's about as good as I can get you right now. Hopefully it plays off for the rest of the crowds who are coming to see her and they get invested in her and they like what they see. She's talented. No one is ever going to take that away from her. Hopefully there's a character that grows from that as well.
I love people who are just like, Billy Starks' whole goal is to either kill you or kill herself, and like that's how she wrestles. And it's like, yeah, that's about right. Like she's gonna hurt you or she's gonna hurt yourself. It's a hell of a style to have, but it works for her.
Yeah, that's called being 21.
Uh-huh.
That's every 21-year-old person you've ever met in your life. They're gonna hurt you or hurt themselves trying.
She rules.
What else was there? And of course, Athena beat Harley Cameron to move on in her bracket. So it's going to be Mercedes and Athena as expected in Boston on Wednesday. And then we're going to see the wild card on Wednesday as well. They're going to do that match against Hangman Page. So there's a loaded dynamite they're starting to build for this Boston show. I give AEW full marks, despite knowing what they're going up against this week. They are continuing not only telling their stories, but they're also putting together some strong TV cards for the next few days. That's good. I thought Collision was a solid show.
Yeah, they're not going up against WWE on Wednesday, so they'll be going up against
Evolve, the big WrestleMania Evolve show.
They'll be going up against the NBA play-in game. I don't know if that'll do numbers or not. It depends on. I got to see like what the schedule is on that one. I imagine they'll get like. Hold on, let me look at the schedule. Because the play-in games suck this year. The Warriors got one game. Heat and Bulls. No one gives a fuck about those teams.
Well, like 10 years ago they would have.
And Mavs and Kings aren't until 10, so the show will be over. Yeah. Heat and Bulls that's a garbage ass game, honestly.
Good. That's AEW's. I don't know if that's a hurt or a hindrance, but we'll see.
I mean, it'll hurt just because it's a play-in basketball game, and like these games do pretty well for the NBA. That's why they did it, is because it does pretty well. But like on the whole, Heat and Bulls ain't nothing. They did well last week against Luka and his return to Dallas, and that did huge numbers for ESPN and the NBA. So if they did well against that, they'll be fine against Heat and Bulls.
Jey Uso did the sneaker gimmick on Complex, spent $1,442.62.
Good on him.
Yeah, got himself some nice Nikes, some good dunks. There you go.
Dude, the play-in teams are the same every year in the East, Henry. It's always the Heat and the Bulls and the Hawks. I feel like those teams are always in the play-ins. And then over in the West, it's just Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. Whatever team they're on, they're in the play-ins.
Yeah. What else is there? There's nothing else on my list, really. I think. Oh, we didn't really talk about SmackDown. Charlotte and Tiffy beat each other up again.
Yeah, that was good.
Inside and outside.
That was a good follow-up. We talked about how they were gonna be able to kind of follow that up, and I like that follow-up. That they did the parking lot attack and they did the footage of it. Like, that's what it should be from Charlotte. Like, after what happened the previous week, you gotta, if you're Charlotte, like, you should be punching her in the face the moment you see her. So I like that she attacked her as she arrived to the arena, and then she beat the shit out of her on the ring as well. I don't know if Tiffany's gonna win, but man, she's not come out of this feud like with a whole lot of ups on there. Like, her best stuff was that promo that went off the rails, which ruled. But the closing part of that promo was still her like backing away and her screaming like, "Get her off me, get her off of me." I was like, this ain't like great baby face fire here. So we'll see what the match brings on. I don't remember what day it's on. I have to look, but it was a good follow-up overall, I thought.
This they can show. This viral video they can show on the television. But God forbid Kevin Owens beating up a world champion. Can't show that. No, it's fine. I appreciate that Charlotte had a change as well to do this, even though she was kicked out of the building. She came back in her jeans and a t-shirt. Bless that woman.
But the KO thing, like, bless KO, he explained it. He's like, Cody didn't want you guys to show it. Cody didn't want you to make him look weak and everything. So at least Owens explained why they didn't show that. So that's, good on like KO. That's one thing they're really gonna miss with him gone, is him just explaining things.
They're gonna have to bring in someone else who can explain things.
Man.
Someone else is gonna have to do all of the exposition. It's gonna be KO exposition hour. Story time with Kevin Owens, baby.
Sami Zayn will have to do it. He'll be good at it.
Who's ready for story time with Sami Zayn, baby?
No.
I don't think we can do that. A couple super chats. Kim Gray someone saying, saw JBL throw one clothesline, Rob Simmons say one word on Saturday night at EPW Wrestling in Corinth, Mississippi.
Looks like you had a good time, Kim. Good on you.
Yeah, sure. It was a really fun show. Saw some of the photos you sent. Hope it was good. Tenruza ending our nights saying, I'm with Reg. Fed can get out of the Indies and Mania. I understand it. To me, the more kind of spotlight thing, by the way, Thursdays, 6 p.m. Eastern on this channel. 6:30, whenever. You guys start whenever you start. The more, I don't want to say egregious, but I think something to keep your eyes open to is the Bloodsport thing. WWE has been a part of Bloodsport before. That should be a shock to nobody. But I'm looking at the fact that like half of the card is WWE talent that are not involved at WrestleMania. This is kind of their way to be in on WrestleMania week and have a booking, do a little cross promoting in their own little way. It's weird. It's definitely weird. I'm not sure how to feel until I see more damage to an indie out of it. And so far I haven't seen it, other than what we talked about, the one wrestler who, was knocked off the Bloodsport booking. He got picked up. He's booked again. They do look after their own. I just don't know what it's gonna look like in the coming years after what we see at Bloodsport.
Atticus Cogar being part of a WWE ID match is absurd to me. Absolutely,
they may see something in Atticus. That's the other thing. They may have seen Atticus as like they may have seen GCW, not JCW, even though they're sister companies, as like a conduit through which you could have Atticus. If you can come back, do all GCW, have some eyes on him, and then move into the ID territory, then that's that. Like GCW is working with WWE for the ID tournament, but then they're also working with tons of talent from tons of other companies to put on shows at the Collective. So yeah, I don't give much credence to the whole like GCW and in WWE are like only in bed together. I think there's an agreement in place, but I don't think that there's a buyout or investment financially for them.
Joey Janela said it on this show, and I'm sure he said it elsewhere, but I'm only going to reference our show.
Oh no, this is a good point. Yeah, I know what you said. Go.
It's WWE's weekend. The indies are there because WWE is there. These big independent shows, the indies would not become what they became this weekend without it being already a WWE weekend. And it's been slowly creeping like this for years now. But all of this started because these indie companies decided they were going to run on WWE weekend. They're running on All In weekend as well. This is what the indies do. They know there's a ton of wrestling fans in town. There's still a lot of good independent shows that aren't going to have WWE talent. But here's the thing nowadays, especially with WWE ID, a lot of these shows are just going to have WWE ID talent on them. And you're just going to have to get over that as an independent fan. Like, if you don't want to support it because Marcus Mathers is wrestling on the show and he's WWE ID, that's a choice you're going to have to make. But there's going to be WWE ID talent on a lot of these shows moving forward. Like, just about any indie show now is going to have a WWE ID talent. It is what it is. That's where the business is with things. You know, you can still support certain wrestlers that aren't WWE ID talent. You can still go to shows that aren't WWE branded when it comes to this stuff. They're out there. It might be a little bit harder to find nowadays, but they are out there. But look, these shows don't exist in the capacity that they exist without WrestleMania and without WWE running these big weekends. And a lot of these promoters will tell you the exact same. We've had Joe DeFalco on, and he's mentioned it. You know, again, Janela has mentioned it. Janela runs the most successful independent show every WrestleMania weekend. And he is telling you these shows wouldn't exist without it being WrestleMania weekend. So I get it. I know from independent fans, like, they just want to watch their independent wrestling and they don't want it overrun with WWE stuff. Like, the wrestling, I don't think really changes though. They're not, they're not having WWE style matches. You might see a WWE logo and that be that.
And also, I want to talk to these people. So this is the best week for them to be out there. If you're a wrestler and you're going to be booked on a card somewhere WrestleMania week, I want to talk to you. So give me a shout in the DMs. Some of y'all have, and we've set up some chats, and I'm looking for more. So let's get to it. Joey Janela is scheduled to be on the show, as Jeremy mentioned, the next couple of days. Hopefully tomorrow, if not Wednesday. I won't be here. I'm not on tomorrow. I did offer, but SP3 was like, no, you go pack. And I was like, no, fine, I'm going to go pack.
Running from the grind.
No, I offered. He said no, and I respected it. Damn it. That's all it is. But no, I will be. I'm going to try and pop in where I can. It all depends on how my Wi-Fi is, but I will have my computer with me. I'll have my setup with me. So I'm hoping to at least pop in a couple times during the show. I will be awake anyway because I'm a crazy person. That's why we do a morning show. But yeah, that's it for me for the next little while on this show for a week. I'm going to be giving you all a lot of content over on Main and also bringing back some interviews for this channel. I hope to do a full walkthrough of WWE World, even though Select reported this is going to be like the biggest one ever. And I'm like, I'm going to be sore after this walkthrough. I'm going to be tired. I'm going to need to sit down for a while. Jesus Christ. But we'll have a good time. Jeremy's going to hold down the fort. SP3 is going to hold down here. Steven Jensen's going to go lose a bunch of money at the casino and then tell you all about it on Spotlight and maybe on this show as well. And yeah, we'll have a good time. We'll leave a thumbs up on the video and subscribe to the channel. Get us up there. Jeremy, anything you want to plug before we get into the whole nitty gritty of leaving?
Oh, good luck this week, Joel. I know you're going to do great. I know you're going to create more work for me, so that sucks. But have fun. I know it's a work weekend, as it is, but hope you are able to still have fun and enjoy everything.
I love this. This will be my report on WWE World. Not enough benches, no water, nothing.
Yeah, no water.
No water on the seats. You know what? Again, I've mentioned this before. One thing WWE got right is putting some refreshments in the press box, which then you could take a couple bottles of water to a press conference. So I'll be at those. Or at least I hope to be at those. We'll see if they give me the wristband, the coordinated wristband. I didn't mention this yet because all of my confirmations or denials came in on Friday afternoon, and I was in a big group chat with our pals about what we were in on and what we're not in on. The only thing that I got denied for, Jeremy, I don't mind saying it on this channel, was NXT Stand and Deliver for press.
Wow.
I didn't apply for SmackDown because I'm going to Janela spring break. I've already said that on this show. I did get approved for Mania after Raw, or Raw after Mania. Obviously, WrestleMania is its own thing. WWE World is what it is. I'll be there. But yeah, that I didn't get in for Stand and Deliver, and I was like, huh? The one show that you won't sell out for is the one I can't come to? We'll see if
You
that
should offer to stand. You should be like, I will stand at Stand and Deliver. I will be the stand.
They'll be like, have you seen the match card? Most of these wrestlers are going to be standing in the aisle waiting to start the match. Yeah, HBK said I blocked that guy.
Sean put the kibosh on you. That'd be hilarious.
It's my face at an NXT show with an X around.
You gotta call Vaquer and be like, can you talk to Sean? I know like he helped you get into NXT. Can you help me get into NXT?
I'm saying Rick put the call in.
I do hope Ricky Starks, actually. Ricky Saints, sorry. I do hope he did it. He's like, that guy's associated with Jeremy. He's not getting in here.
He sucks. He's a Sean Ross guy. Get him out of here.
Yeah.
I've already been told by enough people, oh, you're going to be stuck. You're going to be associated with Sean. That's going to come in handy for nothing.
Yeah.
That's fine. I don't need to tell people I'm with Fightful. I'll say them I'm with like Foodful. I'll make up a name for it. I'm with Screen Rant.
Screen Rant. Okay. Shout out to Adam Barnard. He's a Screen Rant.
He is. He's going to be at WrestleMania week, and I'm looking forward to meeting him in person, hanging out with him. A lot of pals
good
over
dude.
there. Someone told the Greca, and the Greca was like, "Don't let him in NXT.
Yeah,
He's gonna come find me at the pre-show."
That'd actually be a good bit if like Greca put the call in, since they do the NXT pre-shows.
That would be a good bit.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get a cabana. I'll do their show. A Colt cabana. I'm gonna get a Colt cabana. I'm gonna open their show, and I'm just gonna yell at them while they're live on the air. Boo! You suck. It'll be fun.
This South Park bit. Boo, Wendy Testaberger. Boo, Dave LaGreca. Boo, Dave LaGreca.
You suck. Oh, it'll be fun. But I'll see you guys when I see you. I'll be around, and once I make it, you'll get a lot of content. Yes, tell the world In the Weeds is better. Maybe
in your head, water.
Maybe you'll see me at Stand and Deliver after all. After I gave this impassioned speech about whether or not I want to wake up early on Saturday morning and then go straight from T-Mobile to WrestleMania, because call time, again, is like 2 p.m. Call time for us in media for Stand and Deliver, by the way, 8:45. So we'll see. Anyway, anything to say before we go?
Nope. I'll be here all week, folks. Tip your waiters.
Try the veal. For Jeremy Lambert, you know who I am. You know who he is. Don't try the veal. Try SP3. He'll be back tomorrow with Jeremy and hopefully with Joey Janela. We'll see. It'll be the countdown to Janela Town. Ladies and gentlemen, friends beyond the binary. Enjoy WrestleMania week. I know I will. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.